Before I start announcing the arrival of our dignitaries, my name is Moshood Lawal. I head the Corporate Affairs Unit of Smedan. You are all welcome to the tax reform town hall meeting where we discuss how the tax reforms affect the over 39.6 million MSMEs in Nigeria. Please put your hands together for yourself, for your patience. Thank you so much. Yes, we can now unveil the big masquerade. He has been walking around to ensure that all the guests, especially the MSMEs, are comfortable. Ladies and gentlemen, with a resounding round of applause, may I welcome the Director General, CEO of the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, Dr. Charles Odi. Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunities you have been presenting. Thank you so much. And of course, for the initiatives you have been bringing for the MS. Please, let's keep clapping until he arrives at his point. The protocol, please, take care of his seat. That is the 001 on MSME development in Nigeria and by extension in Africa. We will be expecting the arrival of some of the key personnel that will be speaking on tax reforms, because in his wisdom, Dr. Charles Odi said, I will not be speaking on behalf of the various institutions that will be talking on tax reforms. So he made sure he's going to make them available for us. The media, can we get ready for the national anthem, please? Ladies and gentlemen, can I please crave your indulgence to rise for the national anthem? After the count of three, though tries and complain, improv, 9, Thank you very, very much. We may take our seat. The Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, an agency created deliberately to facilitate and accelerate the development of the MSMEs in Nigeria, has been in existence for about 2 decades. And several of the forums that they have done is to make it easy for MSMEs in Nigeria to have access to funding, access to information, capacity building, access to export market, and lastly, access to industrial revolution that will accelerate the process of taking Nigeria to the next stage. The Director General has a team that he's working with, assiduously ensuring that several of these reforms are being implemented in the 36 states of the Federation, including FCT. I will be starting the introduction of the directors in Smedan in no particular order. The director that is supervising engineering, technology, and innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, may we welcome Engineer Anthony Igba, current certified. We also have a department that is in charge of planning, research, and statistics. This department ensures that most of the Nigerian MSMEs are given opportunities to do export trade facilitation both regionally and globally. Ladies and gentlemen, supervising that department is Dr. Benga Ogundeji. Let's put our hands together for him. With respect to knowledge and building of capacity, Smedan has over the years discovered that most of the MSMEs require information, interaction, and knowledge building in the areas of MSME development. And a director in charge of the enterprise development and promotion, Malam Adobelo. Let's put our hands together for him. By extension, Smedan has agreed that we cannot do it all alone. And so it has spread out its tentacles across the 36 states of the Federation and abroad to ensure that we bring in partnership both from the public, the private institutions to ensure that we're able to reach all the MSMEs. Introducing the director in charge of partnership and coordination here in this hall, Mrs. Linda Amumbo Pepo. Let's put our hands together for her. She's just not handling partnership and coordination within Nigeria. We are also looking at the possibility of leveraging the D8 countries, the development countries, including Malaysia, Iran, Iraq, and also others. And we have a specialized department that is overseeing that to ensure that we not only take our products to most of these D8 countries, we attract investment in the areas of power, finance, and capacity building. Heading that department is Hajia Shaibu in our midst. Let's put our hands together for her. The last but not the least, that is overseeing the remuneration, discipline, promotion, and ensuring that the Human Resource Department of Smedan is kept smoothly running. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to introduce Malan Tijani Umar, Director of Admin and Human Resource. Those are the teams that are always working behind the scene to support the #1 citizen in terms of MSME development in Nigeria. Whoever since assumption of office has ensured that we've revamped the technological advancement of MSMEs in Nigeria. We have made MSMEs to get access to funding at a single-digit interest rate. He has made it possible for learning to become not just one-to-one, but one-to-many. He has made it possible for the international partners to see it relevant that they should invest in power in order to ensure that Nigeria's technological advancement is ensured. He has also made it possible that MSMEs get the visibility they deserve by taking them to various MSME expo and trade fairs, including China, Gambia, and of course, a host of foreign countries to ensure that our products are taken outside the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, with a very resounding round of applause, may we welcome and of course identify with 001 of MSMEs in Nigeria, Dr. Charles Odi again, as he rises up for recognition. Thank you very much for that honor. I want to recognize especially the various business membership organizations here present. Please put your hands together for yourself. And with a wow, let's know you are here. Just raise up your hand. Let them know you are here. Yes, we can see you. Thanks for coming. This is about you, not about the very, very so-called important persons. You will get to air out your views as time goes. Let me also recognize the presence of the members of the fourth realm, the media crew. You are here as well. Let's see your hands up. Okay. Thank you so much. Let me inform you right now that this proceeding is being aired live on TVC. So you will be seeing across the 36 states of the Federation and of course on the global level through their internet streaming. Now, the big assignment, unveiling the reason why we are here and what we intend to take away from this sitting. Permit me to bring onto the podium one of our leading heads of departments that is in charge of finance and accounts, Dr. Mrs. Bridget Ohikohai, as she tells us the reason why we're here. Please put your hands together for her. She's an ICANN certified personnel. She's a resource person in several accounting schools, and of course, a renowned global certified, what do you call it again? I should leave the rest. Let's put ours together on this.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. We called and you answered. We are very grateful. My assignment is very short and very brief. I'm asked to tell us why we are here. We all answered the call from Smedan. And Smedan is an institution that was brought into being by an act of parliament in 2023. Smedan is to take charge of promoting and facilitating the development of programs for small and medium scale enterprises according to the act. For that reason, there is a vision that Smedan is working with, and that's to grow the Nigerian economy by creating an enabling ecosystem of prosperity for the Nigerian business person. To achieve that vision, Smedan is on a mission to provide access to knowledge, funding, tools, markets, and to help MSMEs grow. To do that, we help MSMEs to learn how to think big, start small, and prosper. I thought there would be a round of applause for that. What we are doing today is part of our knowledge sharing mandate. It's our duty to gather information and disseminate to MSMEs so that it can help them in their growth and development. It's part of why we are gathered here today. So our mandate in Smedan is, among other things, policy formulation, advocacy, capacity building, access to finance, access to market, research and development, entrepreneurship promotion, and among other things, coordinating and collaborating. That's why today Smedan is collaborating with the Nigerian Revenue Service to help MSMEs understand and have a very good grasp of the new tax laws. So now we are going to ask, why taxes? Why are we talking about taxes today, among other things? In August 2023, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu inaugurated a presidential committee on fiscal policy and tax reforms. One of the commitments of this committee was to achieve an 18% tax to GDP ratio within the first 3 years, to reduce the number of taxes and harmonize taxes in administration. The committee went to work and worked through the night and through the day, and they were able to achieve what is called Nigerian 2025 Tax Reform Law. And they tagged it Building Simpler and Fairer System for a Prosperous Nation. At this point, I don't think it's a coincidence that at Smedan we say that we help MSMEs to think big, start small, and prosper. If you listen carefully, we find out that this law is christened Building a Simpler and Fairer System for a Prosperous Nation. I also don't think it's a coincidence that the NROS, that's Nigerian Revenue Services, which by the way is an offshoot of the Presidential Committee on Tax Reforms, they also do say as their slogan, together we rise, together we prosper. So there's a recurring decimal, which is prosperity. To me, I feel that this prosperity does not have an escape route this time around. For that, congratulations. The reforms that came out of that committee were built on 3 pillars, which are fairness and equity, growth and competitiveness, then simplification and efficiency. To work on these 3 pillars, the committee was able to get this law signed into, get the act signed into law in June 2025. That means that this is novel, this is new, and this is what's embracing. Little wonder then that Smedan has decided to put this together so that at the end of the engagement, we all should be able to be abreast with the key provisions of the new tax law. We should know what has changed and why it matters. We should also be able to live here and know the impact of this law on businesses, on professionals, and on the citizens at large. Also, they're going to be talking about compliance expectations and other opportunities. At the end of the day, you will have the opportunity to ask questions and have open dialogue with policymakers and experts. Once we are able to achieve this, I'm sure you will be happy, we will be happy, and the ecosystem will be better for it. With these few points of mine, I hope you know why we are gathered here. And I want to tell you that you should be expectant, open your heart to receive that which will go back with and make your businesses prosper. Thank you very much for coming.
At this point, I'll tell you, I told you so, that she's highly knowledgeable. Let's put our hands together for her again. Now we know why we are here. And the key word there right now is, Smedan wants you to think big, start small, and prosper. Think big, that means you should dream. Start small, that means you should act. And prosper, that means you should dream very, very big. I've been reliably informed that one of our key special guests is already around, and the DJ needed to step out to welcome him. While we continue the proceeding, we still have about 2 other directors in the hall, and I'm trying to find out where they are so that I will introduce them formally. I will also hold on a little for the guests to arrive so that we continue the proceeding of the day. Media, can you please give us a very, very serene music to fill the gap? Thank you very much. Also, can I have a roving mic available here so that... Okay, can you please fill in the gap by playing some of our viral videos? I will encourage everybody right now to bring out their phones and visit www.smedan.gov.ng. www.smedan.gov.ng. It's a bouquet that is actually on that platform. When you need equipment, you will find it on that platform. When you need workspace, you will find it on that platform. When you need access to readily available finance, you will find it on that platform. When you need access to global market, you will find it on that platform. When you need capacity building at different sectors, I should repeat it, Smedan.gov.ng. If you have not registered on that platform, please try and do so right now. We are also having a pro bono registration for CAC. Unfortunately, we only have 250,000 slots available. So if you are registering on that platform and you do not have a CAC, when you click no, it will take you to a portal that will ensure that you get your CAC certificate completely free of charge, courtesy Smedan. Like I said, we only have slots for 250. Mr. Jack, can we have videos? I am reliably informed that we will be having two big elephants to sit before you today. One of them is the Chief Executive of the Nigerian Revenue Service. The other one is the Chairman, the Presidential Tax Reform Committee. So please, if you do not know anything about tax reforms or you are skeptical about some of those reforms, please and please put your questions on a paper and get ready to open fire so that we'll be able to tell you the real news from the misconception that is online. Part of it is, oh, they will tax everything that I do, they will remove my money for every second and the rest of the thing. This is an opportunity for you to actually ventilate how you feel, what you think needs to be done, and how it will be done. Equally, we'll be having the NRS Chief Executive here with us to, part of it, learn some of the leverages that is available for you to escape the burden of over-taxation, if there is any. Because the MSMEs, due to low knowledge of these reforms, are one, having anxiety issues, two, will likely fall prey to some briefcase consultants who want to charge them where they shouldn't be charged. And lastly, if you are actually registered, you get several giveaways than if you are not registered. But I will leave the talk for the experts to come forward and say the way it is. Mrs. Kolawole, wherever you are, please can you raise up your hand? Let me see your presence here. Again, ladies and gentlemen, may I crave your indulgence to right now welcome to his seat Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, the very man at the center of reforming Nigerian tax system, not just to be pro-rich, but to be pro-poor, not just to be export cash-driven, but for the development of Nigeria. That's a round of applause for yourself. Can you clap for him appropriately? What he has been doing for some time is actually helping Nigerians demystify what we call tax in Nigeria. If I tell you what I've learned from this man here right now is more than a 4-unit course in any Nigerian university or Harvard, because he so simplifies it in such a way that you will want to be eager to quickly go and pay your tax because the benefits outweighs the so-called misconceptions that is being given around. Ladies and gentlemen, may I also recognize the presence of the special advisor to the president on job creation and MSMEs in the office of the Vice President, Mr. Temitola Adekunle Johnson, ably represented here today by Mr. Shino Agwe, project lead for the project job creation. Thank you so much. We appreciate your presence. Equally, we have a very special MSME state-focused personnel in our midst today. Ever since the DG's arrival and he has started giving awards to state governments that are pro-MSMEs and those that are supporting MSMEs, we've had most of our state actors coming into our program, and one of such that has been in the lead is the Kaduna State Government. Today, we have in our midst the MD, Kaduna State Enterprise Development Agency, Mr. Ilya Anthony Timbuak, the Managing Director. Thank you so much for coming all the way from Kaduna. Equally, we have representing the Executive Director of the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund, Prince Adewale Adesanya. Please rise up for recognition. He's the Assistant General Manager, Informal Economy Department. We appreciate you and thank you so much for coming. Here, just like I told you earlier on, we're not just dealing with Nigeria or the regional market. We have a very, very strategic partner in exportation of Nigerian goods and, of course, policies in Nigeria. From the presidency, African Union Development Agency, we have the communication officer in AUDA NEPAD, Madam Dorothy C. Iwozo. Please put your hands together for her. She rises up for recognition. Thank you so much. Like I was telling you earlier, usually you see the DG as the face of Smedan. He drives the policy direction and brings strategic innovations like we've never seen before. I will not enumerate all because I'm sure the videos you've been watching has been showing you some of the things we'll be doing. One of such is these opportunities because we have Ask Smedan, and most of the platform is flooded with questions on why is this tax like this? What is happening to MSMEs? Are you not our supporter again? Tell us what is happening. Now, if we listen to him, we might not believe all what he's saying. He has decided to drag the man and the center of the storm himself to be here. He's not just bringing him here. He has also said he's bringing the Nigerian Revenue Service boss so that we'll be able to put the two side by side and understand how tax reforms affect MSMEs in Nigeria. In the long run, we will both agree whether it's positively or positively. The DG also has a director right in his office that is working with him to ensure that the several assignments he's doing for the 39.6 million MSMEs are being rated and ensuring that we are at everywhere where we should be. In that office, you have a director in charge of the Director General's office. Permit me to call for recognition Mr. Onesi Lawani Daberuje. He has been running around as with the DG's office. When the DG sits, he sits. When the DG stands, he stands. Thank you so much. In pushing Nigerian MSME story forward, we cannot conclude it without impact on the agri sector. So we will have a department that is in charge of ensuring that agri value chain is being ensured, extension services are being paid to the MSME sectors, especially in the agri. The only time Nigeria can be a great nation is when we add value to our agricultural produce before they leave the country. So there is a department in the agency, and that department is headed by a very powerful woman as well. Ladies and gentlemen, in charge of agri development and extension services, permit me to rise up for recognition, Dr. Mrs. Andy Ime. Like I said earlier on, if you have not gone to www.smedan.gov.ng, you are still doing the wrong thing. There you have a bouquet of several of the services made available for you, almost free. And the last one I just mentioned, 250,000 MSMEs will get CAC registration free of charge, courtesy of the Smedan boss and his team. Can we put our hands together for that again? Because October 1st, the money was reviewed upwards. And this DG said, no, these people must have free registration. But today is not for the DG. Today is for Mr. Taiwo Oyedele to educate us, as he has been doing, on how the tax reforms affect MSMEs in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to please put your hands together for this very, very innovative and enterprising Director General that was brought into the agency and has made MSME a thing that we will be proud of wherever we go. He has been able to facilitate about 12 billion worth of funding for MSMEs in Nigeria. Let's put our hands together for that. Right behind his backyard, he has 103 industrial sewing machines to ensure that every fashion designer gets to use a machine free of charge with a token of 500 throughout the day. Let's put our hands together for him. That place, you have 24 hours power supply, and whatever you are producing, he has a logistic arrangement that makes sure that GIG and the Nigerian Postal Services take it to wherever you go at a rebate. In addition, he has been able to facilitate about 18 state governors to set up an equivalent of Smedan funding mechanism, where you'll be able to get funding right at your state level at a single-digit interest rate. The CBN put it at about 23 to 27%, but he's still insisting anything beyond 9% is not for our MSMEs. Let's put our hands together for the man behind that innovative. He has been able to bring out what we call a standardized training for MSMEs in Nigeria. When you want to be an engineer, you read engineering. When you want to do law, you read law. But in Nigeria, when they want to do business, they just jump into it and the mortality rate is high. So he has been able to bring, with partnership from GIZ and other partners, a training curriculum that is standardized across Nigeria to ensure that every MSME speaks the same volume, the same voice, in the same way. Let's put our hands together for that. Lastly, he has said, I cannot do it alone. My directors will not be able to do it alone. So he has allowed for the registration and certification of over 6,000 private consultants that we call business development service providers to be able to reach out to the nooks and crannies of Nigeria and ensure that they handle these MSMEs towards their bookkeeping, financial literacy, and access to funding. Let's put our hands together for that. The list is long, and I will not be able to finish it. With all that list being called out, ladies and gentlemen, can I call the de facto MSME 001, Dr. Charles Odi, to please come to the podium and give his guests a welcome remark. Let's put our hands together, please, very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please permit me to stand on already established protocols, but I would like to especially welcome the special advisor to Mr. President and the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Tax Reforms and Policies. Please, with a resounding applause, let us make welcome Mr. Tawe. I think we can do better than that. We can do better than that. Thank you. Thank you so much. My job here is just to help set the agenda. How many of you have questions? Let me see with a show of hands. Wow. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take the questions in group of 5, and we'll invite Mr. Tawe Idele to answer the questions. We'll take another group of 5. We'll invite him. Take another group of 5, and then hopefully by the time we've spent approximately an hour and a half, we should have exhausted the questions. Is that a good plan? Is that a good plan? This is a town hall meeting, so we have to try and make it very conversational. We have something we say in Smedan. When I say Smedan, you say think big, start small, and prosper. So we're thinking big, we're starting small, and we're going for prosperity. Smedan. Are we hungry? That's a rhetorical question, not for you. Okay. We have proper meals reserved for everyone here, but because we don't allow food in the hall as we're going out, we have some dining rooms where you can eat, and then we'll give it to some people who want to go. I think we deserve a resounding applause for that. So are you awake now? Can I do that again? What jollof rice and chicken can do. Are we ready? Smedan? That one is for me. Let us now give Mr. President his own. Mr. President in Turkey, so that they can hear it from here. Smedan! Thank you. I just have 2 things to share with you before we welcome Mr. Tawe. And I will just, with something we have themed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renewed Hope Agenda, the SME story. And please feel free to put your questions together if you have any questions as regards this. On the 29th of May 2023, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was sworn in. And when he was sworn in, after a few months, he appointed me as the DG of Smedan. And for clarity, if you have just come here and you don't know what Smedan does, we are the agency of government that acts as the intermediary between the small business ecosystem and government. We're the agency of government mandated for job creation, poverty alleviation, livelihood enhancement, and and more importantly, poverty eradication. We are the people who are supposed to go into all your villages to make sure that you stop moving from your village to Lagos. We are the guys who are to go there and industrialize that village so that you see jobs in that village. That's what we do. We modernize the operations and we make sure that we develop the MSME ecosystem. Next slide. When we resumed office, this was what we met on ground. And this year, we are going to do another survey. At the end of this year, we'll see if Mr. President has actually developed the MSME ecosystem or not. Before COVID, when we counted the SMEs that we had in Nigeria, there are approximately 41 million. After COVID, we lost approximately 3 million SMEs. And the current statistics right now is we have 39,654,385 nano, micro, small, and medium enterprises spread across the 36 states and the FCT. I don't know if you should clap or you shouldn't clap, but when Mr. President came in, the first thing he said, he earmarked a sum of 200 billion naira for SMEs in Nigeria. That 200 billion naira, 75 billion of that was supposed to be for manufacturers, for them to access it at a single-digit interest loan. Another 75 billion was supposed to be for our SMEs, and 50 billion were for nano businesses. The nano business 50 billion was a grant. The difference between a loan and a grant is that the grant you don't have to pay back. So you had earmarked 50 billion naira for all our nano businesses, at least 1 million nano businesses across the 36 states and the FCT. How many of you are nano businesses here? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Okay, should I tell you? Please ask that man next to you. The SME on white, the man next to you, just tap him and tell him, should I tell you? Yes, no, the man next to you, tap him. Thank you. Our nano businesses are businesses that have less than 3 employees and are not doing more than 3 million every year. So mama, papa, apprentice, oga, pikin, right? These are nano businesses. We have the next category, our micro businesses. Our micro businesses are businesses that have between 3 to 10 employees, but are not doing more than 25 million naira every year, as you can see. Annual turnover, 25 million. Our small businesses have from 10 to 50, but are not doing more than 100 million naira every year. And our medium businesses are businesses that have from 50 to 200 employees, but are doing between 100 million and 1 billion naira every year. Let me give you 5 seconds. Can you evaluate this and see where you fall? Keep it to yourself, keep it to yourself. So what Mr. President said was that this first category of people that are not turning over more than 250,000 naira every month, let us give them additional 50,000 naira grants. So you see a lot of people were saying, oh, 50,000 naira was too small, 50,000 naira was too small. But can we see the thinking that came out of that? 50,000, if you generate 5 million naira every month, and somebody says, let me give you 1 million naira dash, as the person tried. Yeah? So that's what Mr. President was thinking. Based on our data, you generate 250,000 naira, I'm giving you 1/5 of how much you generate free. Next thing, Mr. President, what we did at Smedan was we went out to start to distribute the funds, right? We went to sign MOUs with different state governments. We signed with my predecessor, who was the governor of Katsina State. We signed with the governor of Anambra. We signed with the governor of Zamfara. We matched funds with Bank of Industry. And we are very, very grateful to Sterling Bank for actually earmarking the sum of 5 billion naira single-digit interest loan for our small businesses across the 36 states and the FCT. So coupled with Mr. President's 50 billion for the nano businesses, 75 billion for the SMEs, and 75 billion for manufacturers, we have gone on to sign the sum of 12 billion naira single-digit interest loan for our small businesses in these different states and across the 36 states and the FCT. So can we just show that again? So those are some of the MOUs. So with Sterling Bank, 5 billion. With the Bank of Industry, we matched to 1 billion. With Enugu State, how many of you are from Enugu State here? How many of you are from Kaduna State here? Yes, the head of the SM agency for Kaduna is in this town hall. So these are the extra funds that we've gone to democratize for our small businesses in these different states. Coupled with that, we are saying to you, if you're a small business watching us right now across the 36 states and the FCT, we are asking you, we can't do it alone. We might not be able to reach you, but we want you to form an association, form a cooperative, because we have something called the One Local Government, One Product Initiative, where we want to lend to the cooperatives. We might not be able to lend to you directly, even though we're lending to some people, but we want to make sure that we're lending to you as a group, as a cluster, so that if that money does not reach you, it reaches your cooperative, and from that cooperative, each and every one of you can harness that fund for three things. One, the cooperative can use the money for them to buy work tools or work equipment. Two, they can use the money to rent workspaces out of which they can work from. And last but not the least, they can use the money to add to their working capital to continue to work. We've also noticed that a lot of people just go out and they're doing a lot of entrepreneurship education. Some people just gather, wait 2 or 3 and gathered, and they do training and they give certificates. We've stopped that. We've started to stand. Unlock funding in Nigeria today. Next to that, we went to set up something called the National MSME Council. If you're a small business today and you have a problem, let's say you're in Potiskum local government in Yobe, or you're in Okigwe local government in Owerri, in Imo State. If you have a problem, your first point of call is your Smedan office in your state. If we cannot solve that problem, the Smedan office in your state will take it to your association and your cooperative. If that problem cannot be solved at the association and the cooperative, then the problem is escalated to the State Council of SMEs. At the different states, the different state governors are the chairpersons of the State Council of the SMEs. If that problem cannot be solved in the state, then it comes to us. I am the secretary of the State Council of SMEs. If I can't solve your problem, I will escalate that problem to the chairman of the Council of SMEs, who is the vice president. As a small business owner, if the vice president cannot solve your problem, he will take the problem to the president. I often joke that if the president cannot solve your problem, please take your problem to God. But I don't think that there's any problem in Nigeria that His Excellency the President cannot solve. But also there's other things that we need to do. All of us belong to different states, and we are calling on the state governors to activate the State Council of SMEs in their different states. This is the rundown of the states that have activated it, just like the tax law. We are saying to the state governors that have not inaugurated to please inaugurate the State Council and help to support the small businesses in their different states to thrive. Also, all of us are here. How many of us understand that there's an SME policy that is currently in play, and we are in the process of reviewing the SME policy? If you are aware, with a show of hands, let me see. Ladies and gentlemen, our small business owners across the states and the FCT, we have an SME policy that is currently being reviewed. This policy is for you and everyone in your association. It's for all the small businesses across the states and the FCT. We are calling on you now. Let us know what is the policy that have worked. What's the policy that has not worked? What are the pain points for you? What are the things that you'd like to see change? Please go on our website, www.smedan.gov.ng/policy, and click on it right now so that we can hear your voice. We are not creating this policy in isolation. This is a national document that affects every small business owner in Nigeria. And so we want your voices to count, and we want each and every one of you to be a part of this policy change, because this policy affects everybody. All the 39,654,385 nano, micro, small, and medium businesses in Nigeria, please, if you can hear the sound of my voice, click on www.smedan.gov.ng/policy to let us know the policy that you would like to have us effect in Nigeria today. Also, I would like to let you know that we have 23 industrial development centers, and we start to revitalize the industrial development centers. The picture that you're seeing right here is not China. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our office in Idu. Right now, a small business owner in Nigeria who is in the fashion textile industry can wake up, come to our office, book a sewing machine, and translate their materials into finished goods like this. Do you like the suit I'm wearing? This is made in Nigeria. So we want to encourage our small business owners to continue to churn out apparels like this. If you come, you don't bother about buying sewing machines. You don't bother about maintaining the sewing machines. You don't bother about power. We have 24 hours power for you. We have gone forward to negotiate delivery with 9 posts to the tune of 15%. To God is Good Logistics to the tune of 20%, where you can distribute your products across the 36 states and the FCT at a discount. Solidarity. We have started this. We've moved to Katsina. We've moved to Osun. We've moved to Akwa Ibom. We're about to launch in Lagos. This facility is for each and every one of you here. Some of you are tailors. Can I see? Small business owners that are tailors. Are you aware of this? Are you taking advantage of this? We've started to do for woodwork. We've started to do for CNG. Very soon we'll launch other sectors. It's for each and every one of you who are small business owners. Please, I will indulge and ask that please be patient with us. If we are not in your state right now, we are working closely with your state governors to make sure that we can create facilities like this in each and every state in Nigeria. Even go beyond that to the 774 local governments. Imagine we have this in all the 774 local governments. Do you know that we're going to reduce the high rate of unemployment for young people in Nigeria? Last but not the least, Mr. President has given us a waiver in this pilot phase to register 250,000 small businesses for free. What that means is that as a small business owner, you just need to go to portal.smedan.gov.ng, give us your registration details, and we'll pass this over to CAC, and then you get your CAC business name free of charge. You're not paying any dime. So people say, oh, why are you doing this? You're doing this because you want to tax us. We have brought the special advisor to Mr. President to tell you this, that we are not taxing you. I've seen that some people have started getting their salary for January. They've started to see that they are paying lesser taxes than they were paying in 2025. And we conduct listening meetings across the different states. And in these listening meetings, we have found out that the new tax law is one of the biggest issues. And it's on this premise that we are organizing this town hall to demystify all the questions on this new tax law. In December, when we were having one of our meetings, somebody said to me that they were afraid to enter 2026. I said, why? I thought it was because of the 30th December they were enjoying. No. Let's say because of the new tax law, my brother, it starts in January. I said, that you shouldn't be afraid. And because we've listened to you as small business owners, we have called the essay to the special advisor to Mr. President on tax reforms and policy to come here and start to demystify that. So it's on that premise, please, with a resounding applause, Join me as I make welcome Miss Dr. a professor of tax actually, Dr. Taiwo Oyedele, with a resounding applause.
You may sit down. Thank you very much to Smedan and to my dear brother, the DG. Very energetic, very intentional, and visionary. Let's appreciate him. He has been one of the few people that will not let me rest. Say, you must come and talk to our SMEs. So we've done this a number of times. And to be honest, you are the reason why we have the reforms. So the reforms will mean nothing unless they work for you. And we are not doing you a favor. You are entitled to it. I was saying to some high net worth individuals in Lagos yesterday that these small businesses and the low income earners have been the one paying the taxes for a long time. It is time for them to rest so that these our high net worth individuals would also pay their fair share. Unfortunately, there has been a lot of misinformation. For a reform where small businesses should be excited, people now are afraid because of the misinformation. I have a friend who is a director at the Nigeria Economic Summit Group. He called me in December, very close to Christmas. He said he wanted to make a dress. And the tailor gave him a coat and it was quite high. So he just assumed that it must be because of the year-end festivities. Of course, if you have a lot of demand, your prices will go up. That's normal. So he said, you know what, I would wait because my own cloth is not time sensitive. I'll come back in January. The tailor said, don't wait because in January it will go up even further. He was now confused. He said, why? He said, because of tax reform. And the man said, which part of the tax reform? Of course, the tailor has no idea. But that's what he's been hearing. That everybody said in January things will go up, tax will come. In fact, someone said to me in Lagos that they bought something, I think it was even food item, maybe yam or something, and they wanted to pay by transfer. And the seller said, if you are using transfer, add tax money. Things we have heard is almost like African magic. So I'll spend about 10 minutes just to give you a quick overview, and then we take as many of your questions as possible. Now, I'm even feeling bad because the DG told me about this, and it's the reason why I came to Abuja, but I didn't even realize we're going to have this massive number of turnout. We had now agreed another event for afternoon for people who do payroll, because the tax reform law is meant to reduce the tax that employees pay. For 98% of employees, they will either not pay tax anymore, or the tax they pay will reduce. Up to people who earn almost 2 million naira per month. But there is a 2% of our population who are not poor, they are high income earners. They will see an increase in their pay. And then we recognize that some of these accountants and payroll managers may not understand how to do the calculation. And therefore, their employees will lose out. So we said we're going to do a virtual session to train them. As at this morning before I left the office, 12,000 have registered. So which is a good thing for us, because it means that imagine those 12,000 people doing the calculation correctly for their companies, it will be millions of workers that will benefit. If not for that, I'll be here until we are tired today. So, in a nutshell, this reform was designed purposely to change the philosophy about how we do taxation. That philosophy before was that, anybody and everything you can find, just collect tax, keep collecting, invent new taxes as you go along. All manners of reports and analysis, including international institutions, said to us, your money is in the informal sector. They are chasing them all over the place. We have officially more than 60 different taxes and levies. Unofficially, nobody knows exactly how many there are, but we know there are more than 200. You cannot build a society where you don't allow businesses to breed. The secret to prosperity for any society is when we allow these 39 million nano, micro, small, medium businesses to grow. Just imagine 39 million of them hiring one more person. Just imagine 39 million of them just making an additional 1 million naira sale in a year. Just see what that means. Not only would that grow your economy, it grows it in an inclusive manner because that's 39 million people across households in Nigeria. When the price of crude oil goes up and they say we make more money, it's not very inclusive. How many people work in that sector, right? But when you impact MSMEs positively, that's Nigeria itself. So you are Nigeria. So as a result of this, Mr. President said, we should stop taxing poverty. We should stop taxing capital. We should no longer tax seed. We should wait, invest with the people so that the seed will turn into fruits and the government can share out of it. As I was looking at the categories of nano, micro, small, medium, you see that we have majority of these businesses are nano, isn't it? Now that's our prayer for them is they should make more than 1 billion in a year. We want them to grow. Yes, that's the whole idea. We want to have more of the nano becoming small, more of the small becoming medium, medium becoming large, large becoming multinational. There's no reason why Nigerian businesses cannot be earning billions of dollars from all over the world. Right? We're smart people. We have the talent. We have the capacity. But our policy sometimes has not been helpful. And that's what Mr. President says we have to fix. So under these new reforms, all the categorization apart from medium, that's up to 100 million naira turnover a year, will be exempted from corporate income tax. And then thanks to your very visionary DG, that you now have the Corporate Affairs Commission saying they will register you for free. By the way, don't relax for too long ago. You know why? We had a meeting with the Corporate Affairs Commission and they are receiving about 5,000 applications every single day. We've never seen this before in the country. And this was one of the deliberate policy design of this tax reform, to encourage our businesses to formalize. Because when you formalize, it's not even about taxes. You become more organized. You have to meet certain standards and processes, like just keeping record, minutes, right? And those few things that you do differently prepare you for growth. They make you more investable. You're able to access capital. So it is a much bigger vision than taxation. So this is the principle here. Please register as quickly as possible if you want to register. So you can enjoy corporate tax rate at 0%. You would also not pay development levy of 4%. You are exempted from that. But whether you are registered with the CAC or not, if your business does not make more than 100 million naira a year from this January already. You don't need permission from anyone, it's in the law. You no longer need to charge VAT. So whatever you are selling, goods or services, you don't need to charge VAT. You are exempted by law. You also need to deduct, you don't need to deduct withholding tax when you are paying your vendors. And when anybody is paying you, they are no longer allowed to deduct withholding tax. Your money must be complete when they are paying you. And of course, for many of us, we have employees and we are not able to pay them millions of naira because we're small. Under this new tax reform law, employees who earn the national minimum wage or less are completely exempted from personal income tax or PAYE. They don't need to pay. Because of certain deductions and allowances and reliefs, actually, people who earn more than minimum wage of 70,000, in some cases up to 100,000 naira a month, will find that they also have no tax to pay anymore from this month. So, in addition to that, we used to have this provision they call minimum tax. Our law says, you have done your business, you did not make enough money, we are sorry, but you still have to pay tax to government. Just imagine that. Then you are paying tax from your capital. If a company is not making money, you're making losses, that's a company that is struggling. That company or business needs support. It's almost like saying that somebody is dying and you say, can you donate a bit of blood? That's just the fastest way to kill that person. That was what we had in the old law. It has been removed now. Because as we sit down here and we are talking about small businesses and 100 million, it's not everybody here that is doing 100 million or less. There are people who are doing more than 1 billion a year. There's also a lot in this reform for them. And that's why I'm giving you these examples as well. For those big companies, there's also a provision in the new tax law to reduce their corporate tax rate from 30% to 25%. And there's even good news. There's even better than that. Under this new tax reform law, if you pay VAT for anything that you use for your business, you set up a factory, you buy a vehicle, you buy a mobile phone, even the airtime that you buy on your phone, it has VAT. You may not notice. Everything you pay for that has VAT that you use for your business, you can claim it back. If you're a small business, you are not allowed to charge VAT, so you don't have an issue with that. Now I'm addressing people who have more than 100 million who need to charge VAT. As you're charging VAT on your sales, government says, you too, any VAT that you have paid, we give you back. And one good thing about tax laws is you don't need permission or approval to implement it. The tax law is self-executionary. You can on your own just do it because you have been empowered to do it. Like you can just calculate the PAYE for this month and exempt your staff who don't earn a lot of money. You don't need permission from anyone. When you buy things and they have VAT, at the end of the month, you claim the VAT yourself. You don't need permission from anyone. But it will require you to have a bit of discipline in keeping records. You can't go to the taxman and say, trust me, I paid VAT. If government begins to pay you refund based on trust me, the country will be bankrupt. We know Nigerians are honest, but we don't want to take chances. So you bring the receipt, the evidence. And we're not asking you to go and hire an accountant because many of us can't afford. Accountants are very expensive, right? We can't hire lawyers. Good news. The new tax law says your accounts don't need to be audited. Management account is okay. Just put it together as you understand. If you find someone that is still doing 100 level, that can it doesn't have to be a perfect account. Just put it together the way you can. And when you are keeping your record, it can just be anytime you buy, take your phone and snap the receipt. I would encourage you as much as possible, pay for everything online by transfer because it helps you. Even if you forget later, you can print the statement. If you are doing cash payments, you will struggle to remember. Some of us can't even remember what we did yesterday. Say, who did I pay? you know. In addition to that, because we also recognize you don't have the capacity to defend yourself, because you don't need to be a tax expert to be a small business owner. Where is that required anywhere in the world? No. It's okay for you not to even understand numbers or finance or tax. But then if you are doing your business and you don't understand finance, which means you can't defend yourself, you also don't have the money to hire lawyers and accountants. So what do you do when some officers show up and they say, oh, guy, you're in 5 million. They say, madam, you're in 6 million. They call the name of the tax. You have not even heard the name before. That was the position our people were left out in the cold. Because in that situation, the only option that is practicable is to start negotiating. It may be that they are not even owing. They start negotiating. In some cases, they are given private bank account. Pay. I can help you pay 2 million here. Government account pay 200,000. They extract money from these businesses. Sometimes they allow you to rest, not even up to 1 year. They will change the team. Other sets will come. You know, because you know that the payments you made, you can't brag about it. You keep paying. Under these new tax laws, we have set up the office of the tax ombud. The tax ombud is your tax friend, empowered by government, funded by government, taxpayers' money to defend you. So if anybody comes and they're asking you to pay taxes that you can't recognize, or the ones you can recognize but in a way that you don't understand, or levies and regulatory fees, tax ombud is there to help you. You don't need to write Queen's English. You don't need to write a formal letter. You can just even call and speak your language. So they are setting up now the toll-free call center, and they're going to be communicating a lot of what they are designing very soon. Take advantage of it. And every single thing that office does for you is completely free of charge. Yes, we should appreciate that. This is one of the most transformative ways that government is helping the small businesses. So you don't need to hire lawyers and accountants. Government itself is behind you, beside you, and in front of you. So you will not be exploited. We've seen people that they just close their shops. They order customers and staff out. How? Those things will stop under this new tax regime. One of the things I've been advising small businesses is that, sometimes, also because of the level of awareness and education, some people can't even understand what we're saying now. So I say to people to say, if we are pepper sellers, Nigerians are very sociable. There's nothing you are doing, there's an association for it. Do you agree? And that's fantastic. We need to take advantage of it because we're stronger together. So let's say we are an association of pepper sellers. There will be someone within that group who is comfortable to understand this process. Maybe it's Mama Sikira. Maybe it's Oga Musa. Maybe it's Yaimeka or Mama Toyin. Whoever, one or two, that we can train on how to escalate issue to the tax ombud. So within the Pepper Seller Association, that Mama Toyin, Yaimeka or Gamusa is now their own tax ombud. So when they have issue, they just call Mama Musa, who knows how to escalate. So we make it very practical and relatable. So this is one of the areas we think you can help make the reform make more sense. The final thing I'll say, and I'll sit down so we can take as many questions as possible, is to do with this issue around, tax harmonization, tax ID, bank account. This is one of the areas where they've created the most misinformation because they know every normal human being is sensitive about their money, isn't it? Whether you are rich or poor, if you hear that they will touch your money, you will react. Even people that steal money, they don't want anybody to touch it. How about people who are sweating inside the sun day and night? They don't joke with their money. But do you know all of it is a lie? nobody will debit your bank account. And that provision they are using to create misinformation has been in our tax law since independence. If they wanted to abuse it, they would have abused it since. Why would you need to enact a new law to abuse the power you already have? You know, it doesn't even make sense. So, the law does not allow the tax authority to debit your bank account. What the law says is that if you have tax to pay and you don't pay, the taxman can ask you questions. You haven't filed your returns. We see that you bought a new car, you built a new house, you travel abroad. This is information we have about you, but we can't see your returns. Can you please explain? You explain and they say, we think you're owing government 2 million naira. They'll send you the assessment. The law says you have 30 days to disagree. You say, no, I'm not owing anything. Or maybe I'm only owing 10,000 naira or even 1,000 naira. Whatever it is, you say it. We call it objection. The taxman will look at what you have said. They will revise it. Say, okay, we agree with you, but it's not 10,000, it's 50,000. The law says as many times as you receive that assessment, you have 30 days every time to say you are not paying and explain. If any of you gets tired, the taxman is usually the one that gets tired. The law says the taxman must issue what we call a notice of refusal to amend. The taxman says, this our going back and forth is too much. I'm tired. I'm no longer interested in changing the number. At that point, the law says you as a taxpayer, you have the right of appeal. That's when you go to tax appeal tribunal. After the judgment, you don't like the outcome, you go to the high court. You don't like the outcome, you go to the court of appeal. You don't like the outcome, you can even go to the Supreme Court. Now, court now say, you are owing. And it's 500,000 naira you are owing. At that point, the tax authority is given the power to give you number of days you must pay. The taxman says, now the court has determined that you are owing 500,000 naira. We give you 21 days to pay the amount. If you can't pay the amount in 21 days, come to us and have a payment plan. If you refuse after that deadline, that tax authority has the right to write to anyone who has money belonging to you, including a bank, to take out of your money to pay the government. Do you think that this process I've explained now, do you think is right or wrong? Of course it's right. You cannot have a society where I can just decide to ignore my taxes and it will end up that I'm not paying anything. Then nobody will pay. Society will collapse. So this is the international standard. It is not a routine requirement or power. It's a last resort power of the taxman. And that is why I'm sure nobody is aware of when it have used it. The only time FRS wanted to use it was they were using it to make people come to them, which we even had disagree with at that time. But now there's safeguard. So nothing to worry about. Please do your transactions. Collect money transfer. Use money transfer to make your payment because it will help you under this reform. And there's absolutely no risk whatsoever to your money or to you or to any taxes. Nobody will ask you to pay tax on gifts. Nobody will ask you to pay tax on remittances. Those things are not taxable. You may have heard the misinformation around all of that. And the taxes they make you pay when you are going around states and local government, you are transporting things, that one also is being addressed. We have 11 states have enacted, because the Supreme Court says we can't dictate to state and local government. So what we did was to draft a law along with the Joint Revenue Board. We used to call them JTB before. We sent it to all the states. Please enact for yourself. And we are so impressed and very grateful, particularly to our governors, because the speed at which they are enacting this, even me, I'm pleasantly surprised. 11 states have already enacted. 10 states have it with their houses of assembly, and the other states are the final stages. This was one of the updates we gave at the National Economic Council meeting about 2 weeks ago, and they've asked us to come back again about next week or 2 weeks' time. That's to show you the interest in solving these problems. We also realize that some of these nuisance taxes are even in our constitution. TV levy, radio levy, bicycle tax, wheelbarrow tax. Who puts wheelbarrow tax inside constitution? So we've written to the National Assembly, and the lawmakers have also been very, very supportive. So we've proposed to the National Assembly to kindly amend the constitution and remove nuisance taxes. No country can become rich by taxing poverty. So, as part of this process, we have drafted a presumptive tax regime that is awaiting final approval, where very small businesses, in fact, we're even looking at 12 million turnover in a year, will be completely exempted, and we even give them an exemption sticker so that nobody will bother them. Let them just be in peace, right? So, and as the states are enacting this harmonized law for themselves, they are outlawing all these taxes that have placed a lot of burden on us for many years. Part of that is we have instances where taxes are being collected legally in an illegal manner. And we have many illegal taxes being collected by state and non-state actors. The reason why this happens every time is most times the taxes they collect from you goes into private pocket. And one of the incentives for that going into private pocket is because they collect it in cash. So the new law that is being enacted says they can no longer collect taxes in cash. It also says nobody can create a physical barrier, roadblock, spikes, wood with nails to collect taxes, right? We want a decent society where things are done properly. If somebody has tax to pay, they should be able to pay on their mobile phone. After all, they buy airtime on their mobile phone, isn't it? If they feel like using bank account, let them use their bank account. If somebody has no bank account and they have no mobile phone, they should not be paying any tax in this world. Life is already difficult. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please, it deserves a resounding applause for that. Are we ready with our questions? Okay, where's motion? Okay, let's see. Questions. Questions. Number one. Okay, the gentleman in front here. One. Please take your number. Number one. The lady. Number two. The guy behind the lady. Number three. The gentleman in black. Number four. And the lady beside number five. Let's do that. First 5 questions.
So can they come forward, sir, or will they stay where they are?
No, let us sit where they are.
Okay, so
Let's go to them.
Be precise and straight to the question.
Okay, good morning, sir. My name is Sadiq Abubakar, and I must use this opportunity to say I'm a big fan of you, Mr. Oyedele. So there is no doubt about the tax reform. I've read it. There is no doubt it's not anti-Nigeria. But as you said, the misinformation is the problem. So please, how can we do that? Like, how can you people help us? And like, the ordinary tomato seller or kola nut seller in Kano cannot speak English, sir. How can you people do and write this tax reform laws in our native language so that everybody can be involved? Everybody, because the misinformation is very, very terrible, sir. Thank you very much.
Sorry, sir. We have some GDSPs that are here, and they are closely working with the MSMEs. And I think...
yes, let's take this first 5.
Okay. So who is the second person, please? Please, straight forward to your questions.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Chibuzo Onodugo, and I'm a tax consultant. So I just have like 2 straight questions. The first has to do with the input VAT, and the new tax reforms has been able to allow other business sectors enjoy input VAT. So I want to use the supermarket as an example. So the supermarket sells some items that are vatable and non-vatable, and they also purchase items in which their vendors would have charged them VAT for example, maybe they bought Coke or something else. So how do they utilize, take advantage of the input VAT to reduce their, to net off their output VAT, to reduce their tax VAT payable at the end of the month? So that has to do with the supermarket. And I also have a question when it comes to the oil and gas sector. So for a business that has been classified under the oil and gas sector, we all know that under the oil and gas sector, you are by law supposed to hold back VAT and remit on behalf of your vendors. So now in respect to impute VAT, because those oil, for instance, an oil servicing company, so you provide service for Ajib, for instance. Ajib has already hold back VAT and remit on your behalf. You have vendors in which you purchase items from. They've also charged you VAT, and you decide to hold back and remit on behalf of your vendor. So how do you enjoy the input VAT at the end of the day? Because it looks like it's a bit impossible for you to be able to net off, because we're saying input VAT, the difference between your input and output VAT should be your VAT payable at the end of the month. But your VAT payable now, Ajib has already withhold it from your invoice and remit on your behalf. So how do you utilize that? Thank you.
Thank you. Number three.
Number three. Okay, please go straight to the question.
Your name and what the Lord has done for you.
My name is Abraham Babatunde Kehinde. Like Mr. Taiwo is my twin brother. Yeah. And I'm a BDSP. I have two straight questions, sir. Number one is, why are tax credits resulting from withholding tax not cashable? Why are they not cashable? And, most times they are not applicable and, at point of assessment. So why are they not cashable? That is one straight question. Then the other one is maybe a direct consultation, I will call that. I have a client who, I'm a BDSP. I have a client who is a consultant who runs conferences, workshops, even for government. And his account is being used to fund the conference to the tune of hundreds of millions, so to speak, like, renting for Hilton, halls, the food vendors, all that. So the turnover on the account becomes so huge. And so how do we now calculate using his bank statement, get his own amount and then be able to determine what tax is to be paid eventually? Those are the two questions, sir.
Thank you.
So are you number 4? Who's the 5th person, please? Okay.
I just wanted to explain. Our BDSPs are business development service providers. They help us go into the nooks and crannies to help with capacity development and small business issues for our small businesses. Thank you.
Okay. Good day, sir. My name is Okoli Valentine, and I am a nano business owner. I would like to just go straight to the point and ask, because the tax law, it's really, too much for me. What we do, we are into food processing. Now, I was speaking to one of the tax people that works in FIRS in one of the offices, and she said that we are supposed to be paying VAT in as much as we are adding value to the raw cassava. So I want to ask, am I to withhold, from that is, if I'm selling, am I to add tax from the information she gave me or not? That's one. Then secondly, please, yes, last question. Secondly, please, I would love that these accountants that, that we may be asking for their services, is there a way we can verify them? Because there are so many of them that I've contacted and not pay their money. Is there a way we can verify the ones that are cheaper? Please. Thank you.
Yes, the lady next to you. Please go forward.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ukoma Joy, and first of all, upcoming chartered accountant, to the lady who spoke earlier. So I have 2 questions. First, when you were speaking, Mr. Taiwo, you mentioned that there's a platform ongoing for registering for accountants that you have a meeting with, I don't know if that platform can be made available for people here. And then secondly, I have a responsibility of remitting VAT. So the company I work with they are a platform for connecting service providers and service users. So are we to charge the service user for the service that the service provider is making available? That is, for every transaction that goes on, is the 7.5% VAT supposed to go on that amount? Thank you.
Thank you. I think that's the first 5, Director. So let's give Mr. Taiwo an opportunity to respond to the first 5. Can we get another microphone, please?
Thank you very much. Excellent questions, very practical ones. So the first one is from Sadiq. How can we address this misinformation in a way that it gets to the grassroots? Fantastic question. Because this one that we are speaking Queen's English here now, many of our people don't even know what we're talking about. So there are 2 ways to it. On the part of the government, we're working with the National Orientation Agency. They're almost done with their work now. So you know that they can reach everywhere in Nigeria. So radio, all the languages, so they are doing that. But the one I think is going to be more effective, it is us, all of us. Because you're in this room now and you're following us means you understand English. If it's just one person that you can explain it to in their language, you know they will even trust you more than me. Because they know you won't come and lie to them. So let's do it together, because at the end of the day, it's for the benefit of all of us. But it's a very good point that we're working on. The second one from Chibuzo, input VAT, net off. For example, supermarket, they buy certain things, there's VAT, they sell some, there's VAT, some don't have VAT. So the way it works, for a supermarket, they may need to find an accountant because these things can be complicated and you don't want to make a mistake. So when you buy an item that has VAT, when you were buying it, and you are selling certain items that have VAT, so the law allows you to set off. So that VAT that you pay, let's say you pay VAT of 1 million on all the things that you bought, and you are selling them and the VAT you charge is 3 million. Before you give that 3 million to government, the law says take your own 1 million back. So which means you are the one paying yourself the refund. You now pay the balance to the government. But if you buy things and they have VAT, and when you are selling it, you don't charge VAT, government says you can't claim the VAT that you paid. Right? It seems very logical. On the other hand, there's what we call zero rated. Like basic food item. If there's anybody here that is into education sector, kindergarten all the way to university, and healthcare, those sectors have been turned to zero rated. What it means is when you are charging for what you are doing, goods or services, you must put VAT at 0%. You know, it looks like, why are they wasting their time? VAT, you must put it there, VAT 0%. By just doing that alone, you are entitled to claim all the VAT that you paid back. Let me take that again. If I run a school, you know I'll buy so many things. Laptop, school bus, books, even maybe you have an iPad, telephone, airtime, all those things that you are buying, just make sure that you are keeping the record. When you are asking students to pay tuition fee, on your invoice, you must put VAT on it at 0%. Even though that VAT has no amount, but you must put it there like that. That's what now makes you eligible to claim all the VAT you've paid back. Now the question is, how would you claim it back since you don't have the one to use to offset it? Under this new tax law, we talked about that. You know, when we pay taxes to government, it goes to government account, and at the end of the month, they share everything. You know, they don't leave anything behind. You now come back and say you have tax refund. There is no money to pay your refund. That was why refund was so hard before. Under this new tax law, it says, before government shares money every month, they must ask the tax authority, are there taxpayers that we need to pay tax refund to? They'll say yes. How much? They'll say the amount. The law says government must take that amount and put it in the special tax refund account before they share it. When it comes to this VAT in particular, the law says you must be paid your money back in cash, if you want cash, within 30 days. So the provision is already in the law. All that you need is knowledge, keep the record, and make the claim. So the other one is, Chibuso says, how do you enjoy input claim when somebody has deducted your VAT? There are some sectors, some telecommunications, some banks, oil and gas, government MDAs. If you send an invoice to them that has VAT, the law says they should not give the VAT to you, they should withhold it and pay it to government directly. Now, if you now have input VAT, how do you offset when somebody has already taken your own VAT away? So under this new tax law, it says you can file for cash refund, just the way I've explained it. If you don't want cash refund, you can say, that's my money that you have for VAT. Let me use it to go and pay another tax. This law also allows you to transfer it to make another tax payment. Abraham Babatunde Kehinde, why are withholding tax credit not cashable? That was before. Under this new tax law, all taxes, not only withholding tax, all taxes that is due to you as a refund is now cashable. I like the way you said cashable, cash. It's cashable, yes. How do we calculate? That's the other question that Abraham Kende has. How do we calculate turnover for a vendor who is receiving money for, let's call it reimbursement? Your job is an event planner. Maybe your own money is 1 million. They say go and pay rent for the hall. Go and buy food for the people to eat. Go and do adverts. Pay honorarium for the speakers. Before you know it, they put 100 million in your bank account and it's not your money. This tax law, we call it self-assessment. It says you are the only one who knows what is in your bank account. It is you. The law says it is you that has the power to tell the government, you will see 101 million in my bank account. 100 million is not my own. But you put the evidence to show that it's not your own. For example, how you were paying for this hall, how you paid for the food. Otherwise, if all that you just need to say is 100 million is not my own, everybody will say the money in the account is not their own. So just, you will see already from the conversation we've had today that is a lot about just keeping record and showing evidence. And that's why I encourage you, and I will repeat it again. The more you make payments and receive payment by transfer, the better for you. If I'm paying for the hall and I paid online, even if I forget, bank statements, okay. Then Okoli Valentine says he's into food processing, and then the tax people said, because you're adding value to this cassava, you must charge VAT. I'll say the tax authorities are partly correct. So if it's basic food, no VAT. But there's a schedule in the tax law that tells you other items on which there's no VAT. So I'll encourage you to just find, if you go to our website, fiscalreform.ng. Fiscal is F-I-S-C-A-L. Reform is R-E-F-O-R-M-S. Reforms.ng. You'll find a copy of what the National Assembly has certified as a true copy of the Gazette. If you just, it's searchable. If you just type there, the AI will tell you where what you're looking for is. So it's actually very easy for many of us to do these things by ourselves. So you see that table and see whether what you are doing is VATable or not. But let's say it's VATable, which is the worst case scenario. You charge the VAT, and that makes you eligible to claim all the VATs, including on your equipment for processing and everything, the vehicle that you use, the phone, the airtime. But I'll say try and find out yourself. And the other question you have is there a way we can verify which accountant is affordable? I like that question. Nobody has ever asked that before. What we are doing for accountants, and tax practitioners is to certify them that they are competent and that they are honest. Because what we have seen is many people have been put in trouble by accountants and tax practitioners who are just hustling, and many of them will just go and pay bribe. We've seen some of them that will cook the books. You see, I don't have account, they just create one for you, right? We don't want to run our country like that. So the new tax law says all those people are called tax agents. People that can help you with your tax matters are called tax agents now. And they must go through an accreditation process to be sure they are doing the right thing. So I'll say if you want the ones that are affordable, you can do it as part of your association. You should have some association. There are people who do this thing like freelancers. They know that you cannot afford them as your accountant. What they have done is to set up system to work for 1,000 businesses. So they can charge those 1,000 businesses 10K, 15K, that is affordable. So I don't want to advertise for anyone, but I know there are a number of them. So just find out. Then the last one is from, I think it's Uloma Joy or Ukoma. Sorry if I mispronounce your name, Ukoma Joy. Says, the training we said we are having for payroll managers and accountants, how can you be part of it? So you have not been following us. So this information is everywhere. So if you just look for fiscal reforms, you see internet, we have a website, all the social media accounts, including TikTok. You know, so it's everywhere, and newspapers also publish it. Once we publish anything, the media has been helpful. Apart from those doing misinformation, they help us publish it. So what you need to do, as soon as you are done here, you just search, and you see a link, and you submit. Once you fill that link, it will take you less than 2 minutes. You are registered already for the training. Okay. Then the last question you ask, Ukoma, is should a platform provider be charging VAT on what they are doing on behalf of their stakeholders? I'll say it depends. If my platform is a platform for selling things online, that's the platform I've created. You bring your goods to come and sell from my platform so that people can find you. If your good is liable to VAT, between me and you would agree. Do you want to charge the VAT yourself, or should I charge it on your behalf? Whatever you do, don't charge it twice. Whatever you do, if there is VAT, don't forget to charge. That's the simple rule. There's no standard rule for when you're a platform provider who needs to charge VAT and who doesn't need to charge it. Thank you.
Please, a resounding applause for Mr. Tao Oyedele. I think we can do better than that. Thank you. Next 5.
So the next 5. Please, a BDS should be part of these 5 again. So, sir, take the number, sir.
Okay. We want to... Oga, relax. We are here for you. We'll start with the lady. The lady in orange, 1. The gentleman next to her, 2. The lady behind, 3.
Wait now.
I'll go to you. The gentleman in front with the heart, 4.
Okay. Yes.
And we'll come to him, 5.
Who? This man?
Yes.
Okay.
So start with the lady in orange.
So, please, your name and the organization.
Your name and what the Lord has done for you. Straight to the point, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Oshino Oluwayinka Esther. I just have a question. What steps are being taken to help small business owners understand the new tax reform? Thank you.
Fiscalreform.ng. Just type it on your phone. Fiscalreform.ng. FISCALREFORMS.ng. Please go ahead.
Okay, my name is Paul Gunnar. I'm a CA, so I have this question. Regarding small business, because I think it's people that have turnover less than 50 million. Yeah, so with this fear of this tax law, I definitely there's fear. So my question is regarding payment of VAT and withholding. The small business less than 50 million are actually not meant to pay the VAT, 100 million now. Okay, are not meant to pay the VAT and withhold, but is there any way they can, since they are not sure whether at the end of the year they're going to make up to that amount, so is there a way for them to find a VAT, then if they pass the threshold, they can compute more like make the whole amount that they find it and pay? So that's my question regarding VAT and withholding.
Thank you. Number 3.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Blessing Magaji, and my question is, how does this new tax law affect tenement rate on private properties, which are not on rent, like an individual owning the property and using it? Then secondly, for workers earning less than 1 million per annum, would there be a refund of the taxes of the previous years?
Number 4. Number 4, please.
Person. The fourth person is somewhere here. Okay.
My sister, just to be clear, you want government to pay you the arrest?
Just go straight to the point.
Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you, my executive. It's a privilege to be here. I'm Inventor Lawrence Nzenago, the National President Emeritus of ANI, Association of Nigerian Inventors. I'm the Director of Innovation and Skills Development in IDCC, Nigeria Industrial Chamber of Commerce, US, Nigeria. And the Director of...
Your name, sir, and what the Lord has done for you.
And Triple I Summit is International Invention and Innovation Summit, which is really going to help in advocacy for tax.
Thank you, sir.
And on the question the gentleman from Kanu asked, how do you dissect this to those that cannot hear languages, English or whatever? There's one of the members of a Triple I Summit that they've invented a project that is called Ngwausan. And in this project, they are even teaching skills development and even technology in Hausa language, that they have even graduated some people. So this Ngwausa can also liaise with the tax reform help.
Thank you.
Then what I want to put in here is on tax returns, I had a diaspora person who had a claim of over 12 million, sorry. So, and has been coming over this for years. I was part of it. There has been letters, and till today, these funds have not come back. So these are areas we will need the tax masters to strategize so that the diasporas and others will have a relieved mind to pay their taxes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Last but not the least, to my extreme left. Please, sir, your name, we know that you're a very important person. Let's keep all the titles.
Please, straight to the point.
Go straight to the point.
Thank you very much. I'm Michael. I did not okay. I operate Ibabe Saloon. Thank you for this opportunity. The Lord will continue to guide every one of us, and the President Tinubu also. He is doing a good work. Thank you very much. So my concern is, how will people benefit from this tax being collected? There must be a great awareness on that, so to encourage people to do that. So you must put it as part of your packages, because this one will encourage people to pay. Just like someone that sit down beside me was saying that some civil servants have started enjoying the tax relief. So how will average person, business person, be able to benefit from this, from the tax payment? It's very important.
So social amenities that the government is making, providing for small business owners, we need to let you know, right? Okay. Thank you.
All right, let's appreciate them. Thank you again for those excellent questions again, very good ones. The first one is from Oluwayinka. Interested in what steps are being taken to help small business owners understand the reform. This is one of it. And we also have a lot of other initiatives that we're doing with the National Orientation Agency. You find a lot of things online. We trained accountants and lawyers and other professionals. We had over 12,000 of them applied. We're training them in batches across the whole country. And we had one agreement with them. The agreement is that we're training you for free. You don't need to pay. But you must go and explain it to other people. And they agreed. So just find someone. If you're interested, there are so many people that can explain this thing to you who are knowledgeable. And once you also understand it, the one you understand, explain to the other person. Because Nigeria is a massive country. In one of our committee's meeting, we said, why can't we just go to every local government? When we finish doing the calculation, if you are going to every local government, one local government a day in Nigeria, you will not finish in 2 years. Nigeria is a big country. We just need to accept that. So all of us have to do this together. Because one person that is ignorant is one person that misses the opportunity. Paul Ugona says, for turnover less than 50 million, I saw somebody quickly corrected him that it's not 50 million, it's 100 million. It's even better than you thought. So the exemption threshold is not 50 million, it is 100 million. But your question is, how do you determine if you will pass that 100 million? And can you just be filing nil VAT returns until you hit the 100 million? Brilliant question. So the way the law works is that once you are below 100 million, we don't even want you to file return. It's too much headache. So this law has exempted you. Don't file anything. So the other part of your question is, how would I know that I will make 100 million? There is what we call reasonableness tests. If last year you already made more than 100 million, unless you have a contract that they've cancelled, you should assume that you would also make 100 million and start charging VAT from day one in 2026. If you did not make up to 100 million in 2025, unless you have won one big contract for 2026 that will make you cross 100 million, it's safe for you to assume that you will not cross 100 million. Let's say you assume because you made 90 million last year, you say, I don't think I'll make 100 million this year, so you are not charging VAT. And you get to September, and you see that you hit 100 million. The law says it's okay, start charging from that September. They will not say, why did you not charge from January? If you made 100 million last year and you don't charge from January, and you hit 100 million in September, they will say, why did you not charge from January? Are you still following me? Okay. Now, if you are honest and you follow this simple analysis I've done, there will be no doubt as to whether you should charge or you should not charge. One of the things we are hoping will happen that NRS will do is they get to a point where they can even give you on your system, on the system where you have your account, something that shows that you are a small business. Because what we're also observing is that you invoice a big company and you say you're a small business, they're not supposed to deduct withholding tax. And they say, how are we sure? And they still go ahead and deduct your withholding tax. You know you don't want to start fighting your customers. Even though they are wrong, but you don't want to fight. But what it means is you still lose the benefit that the law has granted to you. So we want to find a way to make that big business feel comfortable that you are indeed a small business, so they don't deduct withholding tax on you. So that is in progress. The other question is from Blessing Magaji, who says, how would this tax reform affect like tenement rates? So tenement rates is between local governments and states, ground rates, neighborhood improvement, tenement rates. So what the states are doing now is harmonizing all of that. So that process is still ongoing. It's part of this harmonization law that I told you that states are enacting. So 11 of them have enacted. So we're hoping that before the end of February, latest by March, all of them would have enacted it. So it will address that issue around tenement rates. Then the other part of your question is, for those who are any less than 1 million, I like this question. Would they get a refund for the taxes they've paid in the past? Nobody has asked this kind of question before, but I actually like it. Government will not give you refund. When you pay the money, they have spent it. They have paid civil servant salary, they have built bridges, they can't go and pull it down. So anything you paid in the past is in the past. That's why the law has an effective date. So that exemption is only applicable from January this year. The last question, okay, second to the last. Lawrence gave us some ideas on how people can domesticate these to the grassroots and also raise an issue around diasporas and taxes. So diasporas, for example, they have no tax to pay in Nigeria. But if you are in the diaspora and you have a side hustle in Nigeria, you know there's nothing wrong with that. But you must pay tax that people that are doing the same side hustle in Nigeria are paying. We can't exempt you just because you are abroad. So any Nigerian living abroad and working abroad has no need to worry about Nigerian tax unless they are doing business in Nigeria. Somebody can have a property and they rent it out. They will pay tax on rent like anyone else. Then last one is from Michael Adedotun. Says, how will people benefit from taxes that government is collecting? Brilliant one. We say this question that he just asked is at the heart of the social contract. The reason why society is created like this is that not a single one of us, not even Aliko Dangote, can take care of all his needs. You know what it means? It means that if there's no government, if Aliko Dangote wants to fly from Lagos to Kano, he must build the airport in Lagos and build the one in Kano so he can take off and land. If he says, let me drive to Abuja, he needs to construct the road from Kano to Abuja. So nobody is self-sufficient. That's why you have society. That when we pay our fair share, those who have the ability to pay, government must use that for our purpose. So Mr. President thought about this, your question. So when he set up our committee, he says it's not a tax reform committee. He says it's fiscal and tax reform. The fiscal aspect is we also to look at how government spend our money, including how government borrows. When they are spending, what's their priority of spending? Are they building a golf course when there's no primary school? So all those work are also ongoing, but they are not things you come and be shouting about on TV. Because the people to make that decision are political leaders. They need to own it themselves. But as Nigerians, we also have the right, like you have done, to ask. My brother, the DG, was saying the government gave 50 billion naira. It was not a loan, no. It's a grant. That's taxpayers' money. We expect that more and more of it will come. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, let's give him a resounding. I don't think a resounding. Oh, you're a standing ovation because your question was addressed. I don't think anybody can demystify these tax questions like this. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear to you? Is he explaining it like he's talking to a 5-year-old so that it's easy peasy? Please, he deserves a resounding applause. Next 5. Wow. Wait. We always have to carry a lady in every.
There's a BDS there.
Okay. Wait. We're going to take every question. So we'll start from the gentleman in purple, you're 1.
Okay.
The gentleman in the suit, you're 2. And the 3 ladies will come to you. Lady 1, 3, the one in red 4, and the one in the hijab 5 will come to you.
Okay.
No, we'll come to you, sir.
So you're number 1, is it? So please.
Thank you. Please, straight to the point. We still have a lot of questions.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Lulu Fawemi. Thank you very much. I want to know the synergy between the states and the federal terms of tax, personal tax, as regards political holders or politicians. So, for instance, we said that if you are earning 800,000 or 1 million a year, you are paying a certain amount, as you are exempted or so. But this is a political year, and as a political technocrat, we are going into an election time and we want to buy form. And we are asked to bring our personal tax returns. And all of a sudden, the amount shoots up from the state. They ask for ridiculous prices for our personal tax that we normally pay a certain amount year before and all. So I want to know whether there's a synergy between the state and if that's allowed, or there's a personal tax for politicians or thereabout. Thank you.
The next person is you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Olatunji Abayomi. I'm from Entrepreneurship Development and Support Initiative. We build capacity of entrepreneurs and we disseminate information. So my question is, sir, how do you intend to address the issue of multiple taxations on enterprise or enterprises? Thank you.
Thank you.
Who is the third person?
Number 3.
Okay.
Yes.
Please, can you come forward or you pass the mic to her, please? Pass
My name is Margaret Asiva from Norway. You said that they are still harmonizing the taxes at the local government and the state government. So my question is, now that it's not, they have not finished, what do we do with these people that they stop small businesses on the road? They stand by the road. Some go to our business places. Some have started giving us notices now. What do we do for now that they have not finished harmonizing it? Should we pay them, or what do we do? Secondly, when the office for tax on board, where you say we can ask questions, is ready, how do we assess them?
Just to be clear,
thank you.
Those of you in Abuja, do people from Amac still come to disturb you?
Yes, they do.
Do they still block the road?
Yes.
And they come to your office complexes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Last week, came to my bakery.
They came to your bakery last week?
Yes.
Wow. Ajia, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Khadija Isa Ibrahim. I'm a business owner. Many women and MSMEs face challenges such as multiple taxation, limited access to tax information, and high compliance costs. My question is, how will this tax reform practically protect and support women on business, especially at the grassroots levels?
Women at the grassroots, how can we support them?
Who is the last person?
She is the last person. She's the last person.
Okay, the second question. Okay.
The question is from a sister here. All the online...
So you and your sister are not connived to use your husband? Okay, ask it. No, ask yours.
She said, I got all the online merchant payment above 10,000 is charged 50 naira. Is that legally or acceptable?
So please go straight to the questions.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Daraja Obakar, and I'm an event planner.
Event planner?
Yes, sir. I do not have a question, but rather I want to be part of the team who are enlightening the grassroots people especially. I am more concerned about the grassroots people, and I would like to be part of the team because I have a whole process that I would like to share.
What state are you from?
Kwara State, sir.
Okay.
Kayama local government, to be precise.
Okay. So you see Director Pepple. Director Pepple, can you wave? You see Director Pepple, and she will let you know how we can connect you to... Did you come from Kwara State for this?
No, sir. I'm based in Abuja.
You're based in Abuja.
Yes.
Okay. You're based in Abuja. Mrs. Kolawole. You see Director Pepple, she will introduce you to Mrs. Kolawole from the Smedan side, but we'll also allow Mr. Chawoyedele ask. Thank you. Next 5.
Thank you very much. The first one is from Lulu Fawemi. And he says, is there a synergy between states and federal? Because people want to contest, they say go and buy TCC and then they will now increase the price. So there's a bit of good news for you. I don't know whether everybody agrees with the good news though. Is that in this new tax reform law, that provision has been removed. So when you want to contest, you don't need tax clearance certificate. In fact, what we wanted to do was to remove tax clearance certificate for everyone. But the state tax authorities were very reluctant. So we reduced the list of what you need it for to just about 4 items. It used to be more than 20 before. Like if you want to buy FX, they say go and bring TCC, we removed it. So the few things that we have left was because the state government were not very comfortable that we don't have the data to show that people will pay their tax. So this system we are now building from this January, it will give government a lot of intelligence so that people who are evading taxes. Once they see that data, our plan is to remove TCC for everyone. But at least for you, the TCC for contesting for office has been removed. So, but you need to pay your tax. Then for Olatunji Abayomi, says the issue of multiple taxation for enterprises, how are we dealing with that? So that's one we are dealing with in 2 ways. I told you about the tax harmonization law that is being enacted now across states, and I also told you the presumptive tax regulation. So those 2 instruments are for the enterprises and informal sector that are not registered with CAC, because it's not a crime not to register with CAC, right? So you also need to be protected. It's just the one that was easy for us to do, or the easiest, was the people who are registered with CAC, because their taxes is at the national level. Like I told you, we can't just dictate to local government and say stop collecting it just by saying it or by enacting a law. They will tell you it's unconstitutional and they will go to court. So that's why we are working together. So the protection for enterprises, many of them are in the current new laws, like you don't need to charge VAT, withholding tax, all those ones are there. But those other levies and charges at the local government level, the process is ongoing. Then to Margaret, who says, given that harmonization at local government is yet to be finalized, what should we do now? And I like the question about what's your experience with the FCT. I wasn't surprised with your feedback because I know already. In fact, this morning, someone very senior in government still called me and said the FCT people where Mr. President is based, they're still doing what we said they should not do. So what I told the person is what I'll tell you. We had meetings with Mr. President in December. And we already agree, and Mr. President is happy with that we also need to do this harmonization law in the FCT. But FCT is not like a state where you have House of Assembly. So it's the National Assembly. So we are currently going through the final stages of how that bill will get to the National Assembly. But you can imagine there is no way Mr. President will say, solve this problem for Nigeria, and he will leave his own base. So, but I would also say to you that whatever they're asking you to pay now, so long as the law against it has not been enacted, you need to comply. So if they come to you and say pay radio levy, you can't say you are not paying, because there's no law that says you shouldn't pay. So what I would advise you to do, make sure that what they're asking you to pay is in line with the existing law, not that they are creating new taxes and inflating the amount, pending when this process is complete. We are closer now than ever before. I know we are all, even me, I wish all of these, have been done since yesterday, which was why sometimes I get surprised that people say suspend the law. What are you suspending? We say people are struggling. We say, yes, let's use the tax reform to relieve them. And you're saying suspend. If anything goes wrong with that tax law, fix it. Don't suspend it. We thank God that we are at this point now where that progress was not aborted. We knew people were fighting against it for selfish interests. There were people this law want to stop them from collecting taxes. They don't want to stop. They're making money. Why should they stop? You know, we're training content creators. And one gentleman came to us after the program. He said he makes about $10,000 a month. You know, $10,000 a month is like 15 million naira. He's angry that we want him to be paying taxes. He said he will go to Dubai. I said, feel free to relocate to Dubai. How do you earn 14, 15 million naira a month online? You don't want to pay tax. The person that is carrying bricks and mortar inside sun is making only 200K and paying tax. The same society. How do you sleep well at night? So when some of those people are fighting the reform, they won't tell you that they want to tax my $10,000. No, that won't work for them. They have to tell you that they want to take your own money so you can fight their fights on their behalf against your own interests. This is what we have been seeing. But we're almost at the end of it, and I always say Nigeria will win. Then, thank you. The other question that Margaret asked is, how do you assess the tax ombud? So the tax ombud has been appointed by Mr. President. We never had anything like that before, so they are currently setting up their office. In fact, we visited them, my committee members and I, we visited them last week. They have one rented office in Abuja. They also need to have offices in at least all the geopolitical zone and later on every state. Once they are ready, which I believe will be very soon, they will announce everything. So I don't want to announce on their behalf. So, but just be rest assured that the people given that responsibility are taking it seriously, and they will reach out to you very, very soon. Hadija Isa Ibrahim says, how will the reform support women at grassroots? So when we are designing the reform, we were very intentional in making sure that we don't leave anyone behind. So we have women group in our committee from when we're drafting the tax law. So you see a lot of things we've done there without mentioning women that will benefit women, because we did a lot of survey. Like, for example, you'll be surprised that even international trade, this small international trade, you have a lot of women doing it. And many of them are being harassed, they are being exploited. So all those issues, we even have provisions for people with disability. You will see in this new tax law, assistive devices that they use, for example, we've removed the taxes there. We have a lot for the young people, including creating opportunity for them in the digital economy. You don't have to relocate abroad to earn dollars. You can sit in Nigeria now. This tax reform has created the opportunity for you to sit in Nigeria anywhere and earn dollars online, because the impediment that was making it impossible before has been removed, which was that if you were in Nigeria and one foreign company hired you to work for them remotely, the old law says that foreign company becomes liable to tax in Nigeria. Do you think they will come? They were not coming. They went elsewhere. Now we've removed it to say, if you just hire somebody to work for you from Nigeria, why should that be your problem as the employer? You don't need to worry about Nigerian tax. That person that is making money in Nigeria should pay their tax if the amount is above the exemption threshold. So if there's any young person here, or even not so young, you know, being young is a matter of the heart, right? Who wants to make money online? It's a very simple step. I can give you some advice, free advice. What you need to do is, on your phone, you know, this phone now, even on WhatsApp, they now have AI as part of it. Just type there, what skills do I need to work in the digital economy for remote job? You don't need to put it the way I said. You just put remote somewhere, skill. The AI will understand it. It will give you a list of skills that you need. Question 2, ask it again. Where can I learn these skills for free? Because you don't have money to pay. It will give you areas where you can. There are plenty of, the only thing is just to find money for data. In fact, I even said to some young people that if you can't find money for data, come to a venue like this, stay in the reception, do free Wi-Fi. You learn for 30 minutes. Yeah. You know, if you are determined, there's nothing that can stop you. You learn that skill. Last question. ask AI again, if I have these skills, where can they find me? It will also tell you there are platforms where you can register and people who are looking for a remote job will find you. Just 3 simple steps. You know, I can guarantee you that if you want to do this and you take it seriously, within 6 months, you complete all these things I'm talking about. Before the end of the year, your dollar is entering your account every month. So these are new He says amen. I like that. All right. Then she also says this transfer of 50 naira when you do 10,000 naira and above, is it legal? Yes, it's legal. It has always been there. In the olden days, before internet banking became so popular, we used to use checkbooks. Do you remember? If you have anyone I still have at home that I did not finish using and it expired, when you go home, just look at the leaf. You see a place where they put stamp duty paid. Because government in fact, stamp duty is our oldest law, 1939. So it was meant to make your agreements to be tenable should there be a disagreement. When you ask, if I buy something from you and I want to pay you through bank transfer, it is between me and my bank. I'm saying, help me pay that person. What if the money does not go through? Between me and my bank, we need to sort it out. We may need to go to court. Long and short of it is, government introduced stamp duty on those documents a long time ago before many of us were born. As the world was evolving, government changed the name and how it applied. And they said, let's not tax everybody. If the amount you are transferring is small, 5K, 6K, 7K, up to 10K, less than 10K, don't pay these amounts. If you are transferring more than 10,000, whether it's 1 million or 50,000, you pay only 50 naira. To be honest, if I'm really a poor person and I don't want to pay the 50 naira, I just split the transfer. But what I will encourage you to do is don't go and be doing cash transaction, right? Find a way around that 50 naira if you can, but still stay online because it has far more benefit to you than the 50 naira. The last one is from Daraji Abubakar. Wants to be part of the enlightenment. Thank you for volunteering. And already DG Smedan already told you how to join the platform. We're also working with them to make sure if there's a need for training for those people, we will be on ground to provide support. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Are you enjoying this town hall? Are you enjoying it? What do we say to Mr. Tawe Dele? What do we say to him? All right, next 5.
This side, sir.
I promise some people.
Jack.
I promise some people.
No.
Okay. Director, can you walk to the end? Walk to the extreme end.
Yes, sir.
The lady in black with her hands up, she's wearing sunglasses.
Wait. We'll come
If you're not sitting down, we're not going to call you. You know how they do in children's parties? You have to sit down.
I'm at the back, sir.
Yes, the lady at the extreme end.
Okay.
She's 1.
Yes.
The gentleman beside her, 2. The man with the cap, red cap, 3.
It's Charles.
Yes, 3. And the 2 ladies beside the lady with the hat on blue, 4. And the lady beside her.
That's 5.
While we're speaking, the managing director for the Cross River State Enterprise Development Agency and Microfinance Institution walked in. Mr. Great Ogba, we welcome you specially. Please, a round of applause for him.
So, Adia, go straight to the question. Go straight to the question.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adewidri Sakadi. Recently, around November, December, there was a circular on the social media that was talking about those with small business name account and those with corporate liability companies. So if you are operating your business with business name account, it is classified as personal income account, then you will be taxed personal tax. So how true is it? So are we to upgrade it to limited liability company, or we should continue to operate with that business name account?
Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Pope Adams, the MD of Lace Restaurant. I have 3 questions. No, question 1 is
my brother.
I have 5 restaurants.
Okay, go ahead.
No, very important question. It will help others. Okay. Now, my restaurants, some are in remote areas where the purchasing power of the people are low. Even the price, my menu price there too is low. And I don't do up to the threshold of 100 million. Then I have other ones in the bra areas where people can afford. I do over 100 million. Should I charge VAT on that one in the remote area? Number 2, I do contracts. I manage events for organizations. They deduct VAT from the source. At the same time, they deduct withholding tax. Because I use my restaurant is I use enterprise, I don't benefit the withholding tax. I don't know, with the new tax law now, if it have captured that, then lastly, an audit was conducted in one of my remote branch some years ago, and there was a liability of about $1 million plus. I paid over ₦1 million. Then in December, I went to the office to know if I still have a liability. And unfortunately, I was given over 3 million, about 3,700,000 as a liability. And when I asked why, they said there was a penalty and interest that have accrued to the tune of that 3.7 million. May I plead your indulgence to waive that penalty and interest for me? Thank you, sir.
You have 5 restaurants. You did not say you bring jollof rice and chicken for everybody here. Now you are pleading our indulgence to waive. Next.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Charles. I'm a concerned Nigerian. I think I'll put up a direct question. But before I say that, Smedan is a strategic partner to this reform. And I think Smedan has answered so many questions than even the committee has answered in the past year or so when it was inaugurated. And Smedan, like we know, has contributing 48% of the national GDP, 39.6% of employment, and also have 96% of business share in Nigeria. So it's huge, catering for over 40 million MSME. So before they will meet one of your committee, they would have met like 100 of Smedan staffs. I want to ask, what's the markup, or there's a development fee of 4%, and that 4% is divided between some organizations. 8% for NIDA, 50% for TETFON, 15% for NETFON, 10% for defense, 8% for NASENI, 5% for national cybersecurity, 4% for National Board for Technological Incubation. I want to know, is Smedan not that strategic to be part of this strategic partnership that should also benefit, given the strategic position and the strategic point of Smedan? Thank you.
Madam, morning cap. Please go straight to the
Charles, don't put me in trouble. Just
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ade Adedeji. I am an entrepreneur and agricultural sector person. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Taiwo, your team, and the President of Nigeria, President Asiwaju Jagaban, for the good well done. Thank you. Sir, I can see you people have done a very good job, but you've escaped the farmers. I'm speaking on behalf of women and youth agricultural farmers, which are majorly stakeholder on farm holding agriculture. Dr. Charles is one of the people that said which people should collaborate together so that we can have enough yield, because the small holding farming, we are not getting the result. We have climate change issue. We don't have enough yield at the end of the day. Fertilizer, agric, seed, exorbitant price, then at the end of the day, it's going to be a shortage for us. I know a lot of agricultural people are crying now since last year. You people may not know that, but we are crying silently. Then now when you say we people should go into clusters, now we've done that. When we harvest at the end of the year, we collute our harvest together. Then one person decided to sell it to a buyer. Then the money reached other like 150 million. Maybe it's a group of 30 people that gather that thing together. And you take out your VAT or tax or whatever. So sorry, sir. Then how do we want to survive? After we've lost it last year because of climate change, because of high price in fertilizer, because of high price in chemical, all whatever we used. Sir, please, we're begging you, the women, and you know bank doesn't give us, we can't even take their money because the interest is not a go-away area. We're really suffering. We're going through a lot. Because if you're talking of mechanization farmers, yes, but the smallholders people, please, sir, you need to know, look into it. Then secondly, the supermarket, sir, why can't you people waive VAT for them on food? Not imported food though, Nigerian made food, like veggies, so that the common people can benefit better. Thank you.
Thank you. The lady in blue next to her.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Blessing Ambrose. I'm a media personnel. And though you've, some other person has asked this question and then you asked whether AMAC has intervened. But I want to let you know that in one of the programs on television when people participated, it was on business, a lot of people raised concern about multiple taxation. So we took it upon ourselves to go to business premises and find out that. And then some of them brought out receipts for multiple taxation, the same thing from different avenues. And some of them even fight against each other, that you don't need to pay to this place, you have to pay to them. So we even invited AMAC to come and respond to that. And they said they've put stop to some of these things. But we went back and then still find out that it's still ongoing. So I want to ask, what's Smedan doing so that you can curtail this, because it is ongoing? We can talk like this and then people that are really suffering are going through this. So please, you take note of that. And then again, I know Mr. Taiwo has touched that, but I want to ask, how do you separate, how does government separate capital from interest? And does narration count in taxation? Because, you know, when this tax reform came, people say when you are sending money, you are receiving money, please, narration is for food, is for upkeep and all of that. So does it matter while you're sending money so that you can know what to do? And lastly, the DG of Smedan, please, you are doing well, and you've said a lot of things that you're doing for people that are into production. But I want to ask, because it's a question that people throw at us when we have sessions like this. How about people providing services? Do you also put them into consideration? You know what I'm talking about. The photographers, people that with skills, people that do not have tangible, something that you can touch, but they are also entrepreneurs and they are providing services. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will allow Mr. Taiwo go first before I try to answer some. But just for in case of narration, I saw something on social media. Somebody bought Amala for 950,000 naira, and they put narration Amala. And I saw the cartoon. The taxman held his leg, say, which Amala is 900,000? So I think just to protest on that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So the first one, I didn't get the first name, but I got the last name, Sakari, who says, you have your business as a personal, as an enterprise, it's not registered with CAC, and they say you have to pay personal income tax. and you want to know whether you should upgrade to a company. So I'll say it depends on what you do. So when you run your business as an enterprise, the profit of that business is seen as your personal profit. So you pay your personal income tax on it. But what many people don't understand is, in that situation, you are entitled to claim deduction for everything. So imagine that, for example, I'm a creator online. I'll buy the camera, the ring lights. I need to look good to do videos. So even my dress is part of the cost of doing my business. You know, your phone call and everything. So you need to just keep the record and take out all those expenses. If you need to pay for diesel because there's no light so that you can do that one too, deduct everything. Whatever is left is now your own income on which you pay tax. You now say, you know, deduction for pension contribution, that's your own pension, National Housing Fund, health insurance scheme, mortgage interest if you have one, life policy. The law says you can take all of that. If you pay rent, you can also take rent up to 500,000 naira away. When you finish taking all of that, whatever is left, you say the first 800,000, 0%. You see why this law is so fantastic? Because by doing all these things I've just said to you now, you can easily make millions and not even pay tax. But if you make more than that, which is what we want for you, you start paying the taxes gradually, as stated in the law. If you go and register that business with CAC, you become a company. If your turnover is less than 100 million, your corporate income tax rate is 0%. So you have to ask yourself, which one do you want to do and why? Now, if you do your business as enterprise, nobody is asking you for anything. If you register with CAC, you must file with CAC. You also need to file with FRS that we now call NRS. So I will not say it's a blanket yes or no. I'll say look at your own situation and make that decision for yourself, knowing that you are informed, not just following everybody to do what they're doing. The next one is from Adam, who says he has 5 restaurants, a couple of them in rural areas where they don't make a lot of money, and then a couple where they make money. Altogether, more than 100 million. Should they charge VAT? If all those 5 restaurants are registered in one business name or one company, you have to aggregate all the revenue across Nigeria to know whether you are 100 million. In which case, in your own example, you already have crossed 100 million. So which means you charge VAT where VAT is applicable. It's not everything that you do in the restaurant that has VAT. If you have those entities, those restaurants in separate entities, the law recognizes the entity as a separate taxpayer. So which means the one that is less than 100 million, don't worry about VAT on anything. The one that is more than 100 million, consider where VAT is applicable. Right? So that's the way it works. Then you said VAT is deducted and withholding tax is deducted as source from when you invoice some of your customers. Maybe they ask you to prepare and serve food for this meeting today. And then they deduct VAT and withholding tax from your invoice. So that again depends on the threshold. And also we have a withholding tax schedule that will advise you to also find. You find on all these, I was told that the information where you can get all these was on the screen the other time. Maybe it's still there. You see there's a withholding tax schedule that tells you where there should be withholding tax and the rates. And so many things, there's no withholding tax. So I even suspect that they're deducting withholding tax on you when they shouldn't. But you know the most powerful tool that you have is knowledge. Sometimes you just need to print, and it's a page. That table is just a page. Just print it and give to the person that is deducting the withholding tax for them to stop. You said you were tax audited. You paid 1 million naira. And then you went back and they said you also have 3.7 million left. And they said that one is penalty and interest. And you're asking for an appeal for waiver. That is not within our mandate. So the mandate to waive penalty and interest is with the tax authority. So go and talk to them and explain. If they see that you have genuine reason, they might consider you. If not, by law, if you don't pay your tax, interest begins to accumulate. We are working on how to reduce the rate of that interest because, to be honest, the rate is very high. Charles, the namesake of our DG, says, why is the development levy in the new tax law 4%? Why is there no allocation to Smedan? Because in that new tax law, there's a development levy that harmonizes various taxes that businesses were paying before. Education tax, NASENI, NIDA levy, police tax. There were just too many taxes. And before you finish doing your business, they've invented a new one. So we now say this is not good for business. Let businesses pay just one tax so they can plan with that one tax they have to pay. Government, go and decide how you want to share this one tax to whatever you want to fund. If it's education you want to fund, share it. So the lawmakers in their wisdom decided where that money should go. But to be honest, based on what Smedan has been doing, I can tell you that I'm now your advocate for whenever there's any opportunity for part of that fund to also come to Smedan. Ade Adedeji says, why did we not consider farmers in this tax reform? Madam, I could feel your pain, but to be honest, we considered farmers even more than everybody else. In the tax law, they have double incentives, including what they produce, the company producing it. There are all manners of things in the tax law, but I would admit that the tax law cannot solve all the problems that you raised. Some of it is that the prices of food items is coming down, which is what we want as a country. But we don't want farmers to lose money. So what I can tell you is that when that happens, it's always a transition period. You sold a bag of rice for 80,000 the previous year. Based on that, you've done your calculation, you've invested more, and it's now 40. It's painful. But what will happen is, after that 1 year of transition, the cost of producing it will also come down so that you can still do it at 40 and make money so that we can have a society where everybody is fine. In the meantime, I would agree with you, what government needs to do is to help farmers. Most countries, for that period where things are hard, in some countries, government will even buy it from you at a price where you can make money and sell it to the people at a lower price. So government takes that loss for that period. And I'm very sure that the Ministry of Agric and the other agencies of government would already be on it. I'll help you add my voice to it. Because we also, to be honest, we had a lot of engagement with farmers while we're doing these reforms. The other one is, by the way, the aggregator example you gave. So you have small farmers, they aggregate and they sell. And they sell 150 million. You can't charge any tax on that because that 150 million is for a group of people. So you have to split it. So it's just somebody to say this 150 million, 5 million is to this person, 2 is this, and then they will be fine. Then Ambrose, Blessing Ambrose says, okay, the other thing that Ade Adedeji asked is, why can't we waive VAT for supermarkets on food? There's actually no VAT on food in supermarkets. If you go to a supermarket and you buy gari, you buy rice, you buy beans, there's no VAT on it. They charge. So, people can do a lot of things out of ignorance. Even me, that I'm leading this tax reform, somebody gave me an invoice on Saturday and put VAT on it, on something that has no VAT. I said, please go, and it's plenty of money. I said, go and remove the VAT. So it's not like they were bad, they just didn't know. So which is why when you have knowledge, you have power. Because the first thing is to say there's no VAT on this item. What also helps is find where it is in the law. You can snap it on your phone and just send to the person. Let me send it to you on WhatsApp. You start having a conversation. It may even help that person because they are doing the wrong thing as well. But there are some items you buy in supermarket that will have VAT. So I haven't said supermarkets are exempted. I just said food in supermarket is exempt. Okay, so don't misunderstand it. Blessing Ambrose says, people are still paying multiple taxation in the FCT despite AMAC saying there's no multiple tax. I think we already addressed this. The process for addressing that problem permanently is ongoing. And then you said, how do we separate interest from capital in our account? Would narration help for tax purposes? Remember that I said the tax law says you do self-assessment, which means you know what is capital, you know what is interest. You will tell the government when you fill your returns, right? If you lie, government can find out. Because if it is interest, the bank would have added it on top of the money you gave to the bank. And they can get that information. So my advice is just be honest and everything is fine. Narration is for you, not for government. So if you pay 10,000 naira to buy diesel and you put diesel there, when you print your bank statement in December, you know 10,000 naira was for diesel, isn't it? But if you put Emeka 10,000, you say, who is Emeka? Oh, what did I pay for? You will struggle. So narration is for you. If you go and call everything, I watched one video. Nigerians are very creative. This content creator said, from now, everything is hospital bill, hospital bill. And the guy is a lawyer. They wanted to pay his legal fee. He said, no, put hospital bill inside the narration. Somebody say, from now on, when you are paying my fee, gift. Say, how come everybody is giving you gift for the whole year? So narration is for you. It helps you to remember what you do, to find the evidence, to gain the tax benefits. So I would encourage you, not because of tax, but for your own sake, so you can remember. Do proper narration and do not lie about it. Then the last one is anything we're doing for, even though it was addressed to Smedan, but we address it from the tax aspect, and Smedan, we address the remaining part of it. Anything for people providing services, from a tax point of view, plenty. For example, if you're a content creator, freelancer, you provide advice, under this new tax law, you can now get your VAT back on everything that you're using to do your business. You can keep record of your expenses and you get deductions for it. If you register your service business as a company, you pay 0% CIT. You don't need to charge VAT, all of that. The only one is professional services. If you're a lawyer, you're an accountant, you're a medical doctor, those people don't enjoy the small business exemption because they are high-level professionals and they tend to make good money. So services are recognized. In fact, under this new tax law, if you export services, you also get some tax incentives as well that was not there previously. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think we can do better than that. So just answering that question from the Smedan perspective, we are very big on those people who actually do not produce physical products. And our mandate for them is under 4 things called GROW. We are very big on training. We're training them in terms of developing their workforce. We've looked at the opportunities that exist. For Nigeria, for Nigeria as a market is about 250 million. For Africa is about 1.4 billion. And we're helping them to harness the opportunities and the advantage of the AFCFTA agreement that Nigeria has signed, and also with other countries. In terms of resources, we are the biggest resource providers for people who are service providers. We provide financial and non-financial resources, and in terms of guidance, helping you to navigate government regulations, helping you with expert advice, and all of those things. Smedan is your #1 partner. And I say to our small business owners, if Smedan cannot help you, I don't think there's another small business agency or government agency that can help you. So please, I would like to hear more from you, but our FCT manager, since you're in the FCT, will meet with you after this to let you know how we can help you and how we can be of assistance. Thank you. Please, another round of applause for Mr. Professor Tawe Edele. The next 5.
This way, sir.
I think the hands just keep increasing.
Yes.
Is it that you're just remembering that you have questions in your head? Okay. We'll focus on this side now. The lady in white, the gentleman in yellow, the lady in front with the turban.
Where? Okay.
Can you see? No, Madam, 1.
As a
Gentleman, 2. The lady in turban, 3. The lady at the back, 4.
You have to wait again.
2 of you can combine your questions. 1 of you asks.
We have some
5.
DSPs here.
Yes, we'll take them in this next batch. Let's start. So talk to each other.
Yeah, number 2, isn't it? So please go straight to your question.
Your name quickly.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Isiswa Henrietta Adeyemi, Smedan certified as a National Business Development Service Provider, and I'm an MC as well. So my first question is, sir, will BDSPs, that's Business Development Service Providers, will you be giving us formal trainings to be able to support you in working with our MSMEs with compliance under this new regime? And then second question is, for early birds who comply, is there going to be any incentives? And then tenement rates, who pays, the tenants or is it the owners of the houses for rented apartments? Thank you.
Jack.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jack McDonald. Mine is more of a technical feedback. I noticed there is a new tax ID for NRS, and I have observed that some of the other bodies that work with NRS have not yet updated their tax ID. Example like that of SCOML and some others. So if you put the new tax ID, it's having a different feedback as compared to the old one. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 3.
The lady.
The lady in the turban.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Miriam Kadri. My question goes like, those who are working in the hospital, like the porter called health assistants, and you that have your maid at home, those who do your domestic chores in your home, you pay them monthly, and you are when paying. Most people that are paying there, they call this monthly salary. Are they going to pay their tax? In that aspect, the porters that work in hospital, we battle with them very well. Are they paying the porters, because they are paying a stipend? Are they going to pay government? Are they going to charge them for their VAT and tax? These are my questions.
Thank you.
Good day, everybody. My name is Ibe Heavenly. I'm a student of Bayes University and the Secretary General of the school's Student Representative Council. So I'm here representing my students, and I'm here to ask some commonly asked questions among them. So one question that they've asked in school is, because most students are going into remote work now, online services, and they wanted to know, how does this reform encourage the remote workers to formalize their income without fear of sudden or retrospective tax? And they also wanted to know that from this process of claiming VAT on business expenses that you spoke of earlier, how practical is this practice, and how can they use it to their benefits concerning their work that doesn't usually have physical correspondence? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Comrade Ayodele Mosaku. I'm the National Chairman for Cobblers and Leathers Artisans Association of Nigeria. I want to speak about, on behalf of the food soldiers. When I say food soldiers, mostly artisan and leather sector. I want to ask this question. Thank God we were in your headquarter this thing last time, and we saw the facility that was provided for fashion designing, and which also was shown here. I want to ask that also, please, sir, We'd like to have one-on-one with you so that we can be able to help us in the leather industry in Abuja also. But the thing is that this kind of conference or meeting is a very wonderful one. But the thing is that there are too many grammar.
I can hear the applause. Is this speaking your mind? Okay, yes and no, because there's a mix of nano, micro, and small and medium. Okay.
Yes, because we are the one the heat is on most of the time. So I would like to speak in pidgin English, sir. What thing will they talk now? They say, there are plenty of us who no go school, and when we are talking like the time we got to say they could just put on for a seat, they could talk like this, and people go they pay because when it comes to government, now wahala for person who know hear English, and because of the thorough cover we they get, they take them from us. That is why you see many of us, anything government talk, we think say they hate us because we no trust. Because of this English and other thing we no understand. So the thing now be say anytime where this kind of thing go come out, sir, put us into consideration. Make you provide space for us to hear the grammar small. So that when we go back home, we will tell our people in our play language. And my brother here talk about the issue of using one account to collect money and using another one to spend them. In make I ask, if they are going to charge tax, how they go take do them? Because the one way follow enter, nobody there follow come out. God bless you.
Please, a round of applause for him. My brother. My brother. If you don't understand English, you understand numbers, Abi. Okay. Mr. Tao will talk about numbers. So when he talks about numbers, just look at how much you earn in terms of numbers and see if you understand tax. You understand if you go pay. You know, there are some things that are the same in every language. You don't enter are the same as you don't enter. In Yoruba, Otiwole. In Igbo, what's it? Obago. So you understand those ones. So he will talk about the numbers. So, and one thing you said that struck me is that people like you are the people suffering the heat the most. But guess what? This new tax law is supposed to favor people like you the most. So he will speak that one in, sir, please. I know you're a professor of tax. Please, in answering that, can you speak? Do you understand Yoruba? Please, sir, vernacular English and Yoruba, if you can explain it in the language for him. Thank you so much. And the first lady, she is a business development service provider. I'll come to you, sir. We have approximately 4,000 business development service providers and TOFCs, and we'll try and organize a program for them. Thank you so much, sir.
Great. Thank you. So for Henrietta, so you already got the answer to your question, and also for us, we have training for professionals. Once you go to those information we shared, you can register, so you can join as well. Any incentive for early compliance? No, because the reform itself is incentive. So we can't put another incentive on top of incentive. And you said, who pays 10 months rate? I think it's usually to be agreed in the rent contracts. So so what most landlord will do is to say you as a tenant is the one to pay. If it's not written in the agreement, then it's the landlord to pay. So it's for you to make sure when you are doing your rent contract, you know what you are signing up to. McDonald, I think I heard it right. New tax ID for NRS is not aligned with SCUMU and others. So that's process of transition. So they just started this new tax ID. So not everybody has integrated. So, but it's good that you raise the point, so I'll flag it also to NRS. I'm sure they're working on it already to integrate with everyone. So that the plan is that once you have the new tax ID, it works for everything you do. Nobody will ask you for another one in another state. All your information is in one place. Miriam Kadiri. says health workers and domestic workers are there to pay tax because they don't earn a lot of money. So the tax law does not say that domestic workers are exempted, health workers are exempted. Because that's not how tax laws work. It works based on how much you earn. If you go and draft a law today, I can guarantee you, and you say health workers and domestic workers are exempted, you see MDs that will become domestic workers. How long does it take to write the contracts? From now on, MD is domestic worker. So if that domestic worker is earning 70K, 60K, they are exempted. If it's a very sophisticated domestic worker that you imported from abroad, because you want to be eating Chinese food prepared by Chinese, and you pay them 1 million, you will pay tax. So the tax law is about levels. Then eBay says, how does the reform help to formalize online businesses? So you are doing your business online. Do you want to formalize? Again, it's up to you. If you register your online business as a company, it allows you to deduct everything you spend doing that online business. You say, how practicable is it to claim your VAT? Because it's online, it's easy for you. Everything you do is online already. So for example, on some of my social media accounts is verified and I pay, right? My LinkedIn account, when I pay, there's VAT there. You may not have noticed. As you are paying that amount, you see VAT, just tick it and put it somewhere. You claim it back. Simple. So if you are doing business online, I actually think you have the capacity to comply because it means you have some level of literacy and capacity to understand tax requirements. Ayodele says we are speaking too much English. You know, I had to record one of our videos in Pidgin. It was not easy. It's online if you want to go and look for it. Waiting with a talk, we say. You don't suppose pay tax if your business is small. Like people where they make leather, for example. If they make leather, they make shoes, and you make up to 100 million for 1 year, you're not supposed to pay tax. But we pray, say, make your business, make it do better. If you begin the export go 40 countries, they make 1 billion, you go pay tax. You do okay with that, no be so? So if you use one account, collect money, you enter that one. You use another account, spend down. How government could do this for tax? You will be the person who own the 2 accounts. Now you go tell government. Say this money will enter here. And the one will leave this other account. Then they together. So take this one will leave. Minus it from the one will enter. The balance, now your profits. If you dey below 800,000 taxable income, now be say income where government say no tax, then no tax for you. If you register that business with CAC, up to 100 million, no tax. So now you suppose do the analysis of waiting you they spend for your bank account, whether it come in or whether it go out. Let me speak English. I think that if you can understand Pidgin English, you can also understand the regular English. Isn't it? Not exactly right, but almost. So which is why we keep saying that we need you to help us. If you understand this, our English, help us say it in your languages. I think other than Pidgin, any other language you say now, you create problems. I'm Yoruba. If I start speaking Yoruba now, immediately I've excluded people who don't understand Yoruba. So we also have to be mindful of that. So is the Pidgin, we'll try and upgrade our Pidgin so that next time we speak Pidgin. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Our time is fast spent. Our lunch is getting cold. If you have questions, please, can you write them down? Please, let me see again if you have questions. Last set of people. Okay. Can we write the last, Mr. Mashud, you start from behind, you start from Timmy at the back. The other people, if we don't call you, please write your questions down, and I assure you that these questions will be addressed by Mr. Taiwo Yedele, and will give you the answers on an email. Did we all register? So we have your names, phone numbers, email addresses. We'll send, and what? And your NIN, fantastic. And so we'll send an email blast on the recap for this. This will be the last set of 5 questions. Mr. Taiwo has to go. He has an engagement by 3, and your food is getting cold. Your jollof rice and chicken. Tell the people that have left that their food is getting cold. Their food is here for them. They need to actually pick it up on their way out. That's one. That's number 1. The guy next to him is number 2. This lady has raised her hand, number 3. This lady too, number 4. And she will be number 5. So collate and let her answer. Thank you. This will be the last set for this town hall. We are going to also work with Mr. Taiwo's calendar to take him around some other states. I know some state governors have written to me that they would like to host this. If you are from those states, we'll let you know in a few months to go. Thank you.
Thank you, DG, for the opportunity. Mr. Taiwo, I would like to, just before my question, I'd just like to commend you. Since November, I've attended 3 events that you've been present. I didn't plan to meet you there, but you've been present. So what that just means, you've been industrious enough to pass information to people. So thank you very much, sir. I was at Wimby's, I was at Smedan conference, and now I'm here. So my question is this. So this was a conversation that happened a few days ago. So let's say I'm a contractor, for example, right? And the taxes, they asked the question, but I'm not sure he asked the way I wanted it to be answered. The taxes had been paid at source. So now the payment has been paid to my account. If I now want to pay another company for a certain service or whatever supply, whatever it is, am I also to withhold another tax after the taxes have been withheld by the government? Thank you.
Thank you. That's number 1.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Oluwatosin Jonathan. My question goes like this. In between a communication company and banks, USSD transfer on bank, they charge 6 naira 98 kobo. And I think last year I was involved in this. I have a little token of amount that I wanted to send to a client. I gave my son to do that. And the guy typed that thing almost 10 times. And they are deducting 6 naira 98 kobo for 10 times. So, and at the end of the day, the money that was remaining inside the account was unable to settle the bills meant for. And I was very angry. So I want to know, in between, is it communication company, banks, the VAT? Also, I have one account also, Zenith Bank. I've not gone to the bank before because the people that I'm working for, they say I should open an account with Zenith. And during that course, I traveled, I wasn't around, and they are charging me every time, desk charge, APOS, ATM, whatever, until the money inside the account finish, and minus was being sent to me again, minus whatever to that account. Until now, I've not been to the bank. I've never used the ATM for once. And, oh my God.
We understand your plight.
Please, can you plug? Number 3.
You just kept getting charges even when you were not using the account. And even when it got to 0, you kept getting charged. And now minus, you're getting charged. Go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Latifa Aspita Isa. I'm a Smedan BDSP from Kogi State. Thank you for everything you've been doing. So I'd like to also inform the House that as BDSPs, we serve as first responders to MSMEs all around the country. Thank you, DG, for having said that you're creating a program for us already, because I wanted to ask if we can also be incorporated to the Fiscal Reforms Committee's trainees for us to be able to disseminate this information to people we work with. So my question is to the chairman. So as small business owners who have been exempted from the tax in the new tax regime, so those who have below 100 million are exempted. So do they need to file? In the old regime, there's a penalty for not filing. So are we exempted from filing now? So if I do a self-assessment and I see that I have not within the threshold, should I just stay in my house and mind my business, or I have to file? So this is very important because most people accrue penalties without knowing what to do. So this is the first question. Then secondly, recently I came across a video from airline operators who alleged that the new tax reforms is going to make airfares unaffordable for ordinary Nigerians because of the new tax laws. So can you speak to that? How does this affect the airline operators? Is it that with this new regime, airline prices, tickets are going to skyrocket, or what? There are fears in this regards? Please kindly speak to it as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 4. Where is number 4? Okay, she's over there. Please, who is getting the questions that are not answered? Assistant Director.
Thank you very much, sir, for the opportunity. I am Dr. Oluwagbemiro Favor, the CEO of Magnifica Core Crafts. I want to especially thank Mr. Oyedele for making it so easy for us to understand everything about the tax law. And I think my question to some extent have been asked. I have registered my business since around 2017, but it's a business name. And I was told last year that I have to upgrade to liability company. So I want that to be clarified. I think somebody asked, but I was distracted. I didn't get the answer. Now for the DG of Smedan. Sir, I want to appreciate you for what you're doing. I am a member of attending the Friday clinic at the Gambia Street, and it has been wonderful. And one thing is, while I attended, we were told that there is a facility where people, just like you showed us, I was there in person and I saw the garment facility. It was actually mind-blowing. Thank you very much, sir. What I do as an entrepreneur, this is made in Nigeria. This is what I do. I make this. My phone pouch is what I do. This is my phone pouch. The bracelets I'm wearing is what I do. So this is just one of my products, and it's not even the best. So I asked for an opportunity to have a place to train, because anywhere I go, this is called macrame products. It's unique. This, you can't walk to anywhere in Abuja here and pick this up. People are interested, they want to learn. I don't have a place to teach. I have a very small place carved out in my house in Lugbe where I do some little thing, but it's not enough at all. So I wrote to the Smedan last year that I would like to have a space where I could teach. But I got an email about 2 weeks ago that they are sorry, there's no space for me. That's why I've been so eager to speak to you. The man holding the mic the other time, I met him in person. He said they have heard about my product. They were looking for me at a particular time and all that. So as I have one-on-one opportunity with you, how can I be helped? I need a space to teach, to show what I do, because this is not common. Women, girls, everybody is ready to learn, but I don't have where to teach. And aside from this, I want to leverage on technology. Aside from having a space to teach, I could do this online. I don't have camera. I don't have the lighting system to be able to teach people online. I have audience in Nigeria. I'm sorry, I will round up. On Facebook, I have over 8,000 followers. On YouTube, I have close to 4,000. I have people in India and Indonesia, Nigeria that want to learn. So what can Smedan do to help me so that I can train and showcase what I can do? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. If you have questions on paper, you just pass it around. She will take it. The last is number 5 over there.
The last, yes. I'm sure all the committee members there have given you all the questions to ask.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
No. You're not number 5. I'm number 5, sir. No, number 5. Those women are going to pounce on you.
Okay. Let me just make it briefly, sir.
They have contributed their questions to one person.
Let me just make it very brief, sir. Please, sir. Please just.
Do we agree for you to ask questions?
Please,
do we agree?
My mothers, please. Sorry, my mothers. Just 1 minute, please. Thank you. I want to say thank you, sir, the DG Smedan and Mr. Taiwo Yedele for this lesson you have teach us, because it has been mind-blowing before about these tax reforms. In fact, I've left some of my account. I'm only using fintech now because of issue of tax. But thank you, sir, for this. And I want to make a very brief observation here for the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for bringing vibrant leaders in this administration. Look at them; they have been standing since morning. Very good. I want to say
question.
And once my question, sir, as an artisan here in FCT, if we collect contract because we sell cars for our customers and the car can rate up to like 150, 80, and the money paid to our account.
You sell what?
Cars.
Vehicles.
Yes, sir. Vehicles. Okay. We are auto mechanic and other artisan in FCT. In case in that area and other artisan, in case we sell product and other things for our customers and clients, how can that tax be removed? Because maybe at the end of the day, what belongs to us may not be more than 100 or 200,000. We pay back the owner of the vehicles. How can that be done? That is what I wanted to ask.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The last but not the least person for today. Please a round of applause for her as she asks her question.
Good day, everyone. My name is Angoli Okeke. As an informal worker, I want to know how Smedan can help us to, because we are so many in Abuja, in the whole 36 states, to bring down the message to vulcanizers, the stylists, because most of us don't know about Smedan. So we are just getting to know about it. How you can help us to bring down the message so that all of us can benefit. Number 2, even the funding. And number 2 is there any office where we can report about when we had tax as a illegal, or how would I put it, of tax? Yes, taxation. Is there any office that can be accessible without much protocol, that people can walk in and report and get immediate or urgent answer or help? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We have
any question on the papers? Is there anybody submitting questions?
Can we get all your questions? There are 2 gentlemen behind you with papers. Please get them. The lady who has asked for a space. It's not that Smedan does not have a space for you. It's that Smedan does not have a space to give to you. So if you have your audience, right? And today is your lucky day. If you have the audience, please let us know. We will book halls for you to do your training. Free of charge. At 0 cost. This gentleman, Mr. Kayode, please stand up. This gentleman is the head of ICT. He will put you through and make sure that when you are training, it is recorded and all your people will get it. Thank you. Mrs. Fawale, please stand up. This lady will take some products from you today that we will give to other people to try. So you meet with her and then she will get some more products. See, I'm talking to you now. You are not paying attention. She will get some more products that she will use to put on display. So 3 things. 1, you've gotten a space to train. We can't give it to you permanently because there are other small businesses. So it's like a meeting room. You will book it, get your people to come, you'll get trained. He will help with the ICT part that you've spoken about, and she will help with access to market, getting your product. Is that okay? Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Awesome. So the first person said they're a contractor, and their taxes have been deducted, and then they want to pay subcontractor. Should they deduct tax again? It will depend on how you write the agreement. So if they ask you to build this building, you are the contractor. You go and find someone to help you do the electrification and fittings. That's another contract. So this is a contracting issue. Depending on how you do the contract, you may be able to save some taxes. In some cases, you can use reimbursements. Say, buy this on my behalf, buy this on my behalf. I only pay you for your own services. So these are things you get from speaking to accountants and tax experts. Jonathan says there's USSD all over the place and bank charges. Your question was mostly around bank charges. Why we can't control that, you can't use tax law to say don't make bank charges. That's done by the CBN. But I will encourage you, don't leave the account and say they are charging you, it has entered negative. You need to go there and go and close it, because that amount is recorded in your name. It's part of your credit worthiness analysis. So you don't want to have a bad credit rating for something as small as that. For the VAT on bank charges, it's usually very small amount. Sometimes 1 naira 50 kobo or 2 naira, but all the same. If you accumulate it, you can now get the deduction under this new law. We had a meeting with banks and fintechs last week. One of the things we suggested to them is they can develop an app within your banking app where you can just tap and see everything you need for your tax returns. They do it in other countries. So we'll follow with them. It will be nice for them to do it so you don't have to worry once they do it. It helps you collate your information and you can get your tax deduction quite easily. Latifa says, okay, I think this is mostly for Smedan, but when it comes to the tax training, we'll work with Smedan to train whoever they present to us on this issue. Then the other issue you raised was to do with whether small companies need to file returns. We said small companies are exempt and should they still file returns? So fantastic question. So as a small company, you don't need to file VAT returns, but you must file company's income tax return. You see? So that's why that question is very important. If you're a small company, you don't make up to 100 million a year, you don't need to file VAT returns. But once a year, you must file your income tax return, because if imagine you don't file any returns, government will not even know whether you are small or big, and you just refuse to file returns. So just remember that income tax returns is compulsory for everyone, whether you're exempted or not. Then airlines and air ticket, we are having meetings with the airlines already, because I think nobody likes to pay tax. So what I can tell you is that what the airline said that you read and you saw online was blown out of proportion. So what the new law has done is to address a lot of their tax problems. There was one that they didn't like that has not been solved. That's the one that they raised. And we are still working with them on addressing the issue. So what I can tell you is that this tax reform will not make flight tickets unaffordable. So that's not correct. Dr. Oluwagbe Miro registered the business in 2017. She was being told, go and register a company. Like I said, that's up to you. It's not automatic. It's not everybody that needs to register a company. But if you do your calculations and registering a company will favor you, I would say do so, especially because Smedan with CAC now has the opportunity for you to register for free. This person says he's an artisan, but he's selling cars. I was struggling to reconcile the two. Many people like to be artisans like you. If you are selling cars, you are not a small business person. But I think your point is you were selling those cars on behalf of other people. So what you need to do is When you receive the money, it's not your own. You pay it out to the person that owns the car. Whatever is left is your own portion, isn't it? That's what government is interested in. So I'll keep saying again, this tax law places responsibility on you to tell government what you are doing. Government will not magically know that this is not your car. It is you to tell the government to say, the car I sold for 20 million. My own portion there is only 300,000. That's the 300,000 that you need to talk to government about. The last one says, I think one part of it is for Smedan. The one that is for tax is, how can you assess, is there an office where you can report illegal taxes easily without too much formalities? Yes. Who knows the office? Office of the Tax Ombudsman. We already said it today. Once they are done setting up their processes, they will communicate to everyone. And I said you'll be able to do toll-free call and speak your languages. So I think with this, we've addressed all the questions we're able to take today, like the Smedan DG promise. We promise to attend to the others that you have written down, and then the answers will be communicated to you. I also need to run now, so I will not be late for my next meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. What do we say to Mr. Taiwo? What do we say to Mr. Taiwo? Thank you so much. Over to you.
Can I crave your indulgence to please take your seat while our guests leave? Please take your seats. There are further announcements to be made. Please take your seats while they leave. Ladies and gentlemen, the business membership organizations, especially NATA, MOMTA, FI1, and the rest, please stay behind. There is an announcement for you on the logistics part. Equally, our food is going to be given to us in parks at the basement. We'll be working around that. I will call on Engineer Anthony Igba to quickly give us a vote of thanks while we sing the national anthem as the round. Engineer Anthony Igba, please.
Hello. My own job is to just give vote of thanks. I would like to thank Mr. Taiwo Oyedele for such a wonderful job. The clarity was obvious. There was fear, the land based on tax. But now it's very clear to us that the issue of tax is to help the SMEs. Thank you very much for such a wonderful job done. I'd like to thank also the business membership organizations for taking time to be here. That shows your commitment to the progress of this country and your desire to grow in all you're doing. I want to thank also the MSMEs that came. The passion is being displayed for such a time like this, and everyone must have benefited from the questions and answers by the president, the chairman. We also want to thank the members of the press. I will call on you to carry the story on, the conversation on, the clarity on, that the tax issue is for the benefit of Nigeria and for the progress of Nigeria. Thank other government officials that came. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Federation of Informal Workers Association of Nigeria, NASMI, NASI, FI1, Farmers Association of Nigeria, Garki Fashion and Traders, Nigeria Cobblers Association, FCT, Nigeria Commercial Farmers Association, Ladil Domain and Empowerment Initiative, Nigeria Association of Auto Mechanics, Motor Mechanics, and Technician Association of Nigeria. We want to appreciate all of you for finding out time to come, and we'll see you at the next town hall meeting. Please go to the basement with your tag and receive your food. Thank you so much. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.